where his mama, his daddy ain't where his daddy, you know. I'm like, yeah, these my sons and these my daughter, but this ain't their child and they uncles and they nieces. And yeah, this is other grandma, but you know, she got things going on with her and this and that. And you know, so I was a little overwhelmed. I felt, you know, stress. I felt stress. You know what I'm saying? And it was so you. Stress will kill you quicker than anything. You be stressing over you stress things, and you know what's a tied, you know what disease or sickness is tied to stress? Shingles. Shingles. You start stressing bad, next thing you know, muscles. And I was so stressed last week, I didn't know whether I was coming or going. And it all happened in a day. And one day it just happened like bam. I'm like, oh, you know. But I thank y'all for support system. You know, it's one thing you need in your life if you ain't got it. You know, and that's to find yourself a good support system. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't got a good support, there ain't nothing you can't get through. You know, when you got good support, that's good help, that's good aid, that's good counsel. And then you back that good support, those people who trust and fear the Most High Yah. Oh man, it's rejuvenating. You know what I mean? It's one thing I was talking to a couple of my brothers down in Atlanta, and I was telling them, I say, man, every time I get on the phone with you and taking care of us, you know, taking care of our people. You know, this is one time in my life. I was telling my brother this morning we was riding in the class. This is one time in my life where I can really sit back and think and be like, I ain't never in my life that took off throughout the earth and it affected globally across the globe. You know what I'm saying? And my life was scared and they shut their countries. You know, I ain't ever seen nothing like that. So it made me wonder and say, is this that time? Shut down school throughout the land, not just in the United States. Throughout the land, they shut school down. And guess what? Now, parents, now you got to do your job. You got to do your job. See, ain't no sending them off 8, 10 hours away to a stranger to make sure that they getting the education that they need, to make sure they understanding how to read, how to write, how to comprehend, and how to interact in society. You know, is this a glimpse of what's to come? Is there more of this getting ready to take place? We don't know. We only can wait to see. But I pray, and we don't get too proud, and we don't get too haughty, and be talking about, I did this, I made this happen. No, let's give our strength where it belongs.
I keep just saying that definitely on there. Yeah. It was person to person. No issue. Now it's animal to person. That's what the issue.
And that's what the issue is.
Yeah, that's what the issue come in at. Now you can look at that Lysol can do that.
Different cultures on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's a wonderful knowledge. You know.
Yes, sir.
All right. Here we go.
We're gonna have 3 songs. How about 3 songs?
All right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Go a little something like this. It go a little something like this. You know, I'll just take songs I hear, old songs, remix it. Remix the song. You know, so it's like, praise Yah, right? Praise Yah, right? Hallelujah. Praise Yah. But see, how you see where you gonna praise him at? See, you go. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. This. Praise in the morning. Cause praise Yah. See, that's it. Hallelujah. How to praise Yah. I can't sing a lick. You know what I'm saying? I can't sing and lead, but I do my best to praise y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because there used to be a song they used to sing like that. And like, in the morning, in the evening, praise y'all. In the morning, praise y'all. Praise y'all. Praise y'all. Yes, now, praise y'all. In the morning, praise y'all. Every day now, praise y'all. Praise y'all. Praise y'all. Stomp your feet now. Praise y'all. Hallelujah. That's it. That's it. That's it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know, my humor, I don't know why they think that. Y'all got a sense of humor. Y'all love to have fun. He love enjoyment. You know what I mean? Didn't he say sing praises unto him? Didn't he say come before him with joy and happiness, gladness, and thanksgiving? So that ain't no sad, drawn out, down out, depressed kind of y'all. You know what I mean? And y'all want his people to be wealthy too. He made sure his people was well off. So you have to look forward to when praising the Most High Yah. But without any further ado, brothers and sisters, go ahead and put your hands together. Let's get him up here, Moray Aaron. Hallelujah. And thank you all for letting me hold this space for this time. Praise God.
That sounds stuck in my head.
That's one of my favorite movies called Lilies in the Field.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everyone. Very elated to see everyone here.
Hallelujah.
And I do mean it. Beautiful Debbie.
Hallelujah.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
With everything that's going on to experience it. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for the goodness of Yah. As he said, David said, I would have fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of Yah in the land of the living. Know that it's turbulent times for many, and we pray the Almighty the healing grace, and we're just going to be still and let Him work and let Him do what He would have to do, and we're gonna praise His holy name through it all. So, brother, it was a great rendition to that old church song. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
You just gonna carry on?
He ready. I think he will. Hallelujah. You ready, bro?
It's gonna be a little shaky just because, I've been, as I said to everybody, I was preparing a new song.
That's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, start over a couple of times.
That's all right. People cook with something.
Yeah.
I'm in the high cards. Not with the speaker. You did something with the speaker last time.
There you go.
goodness. Just feeling never get home.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, class.
Shabbat Shalom.
Excuse me. All praise, all honor, and all glory to the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yahweh. He's amazing. Amazing.
Amazing.
Yahweh is amazing.
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 Wait a second. Is that?
Wake up in my state. Never perfect peace. Leave unto you. You see there will be no stopping till Yahweh has made a full living. Serving no greater nigga, just that's the main. That I love my own. Truly, he has set me free from everything that cannot exist. Taking their truth before my people and my people breaking all they conceive. But in I can set out like a four-man father. Yahweh has spoken to us for a moment. But me into the fight, it's the fault that they bring. So amazing. Amazing. Yahweh. Amazing. Amazing. It's amazing. Amazing. Wake up in the morning, I gotta take a look Yahweh is amazing. So I kept perfect. Leave my I'm like blood on me. Say my foot shall not slip like some little on them. Teach your wise man, and now you shall be increased. Into every last night of burning heat. When the truth, there will be no stopping till Yahweh has made a full living. Serving no of the deities, that is the main. Said I love my own. Truly, he has set me free from everything that cannot get sick. We're taking their truth before my people and my people breaking all they can see. But in my words, they keep what we say they still do. Let me do say one thing that they do not make. Now there's no sense at all, like a poor man in poverty. Yahweh is supposed to act like a it's easy, but good for us, but y'all service is so push the boss they bring so between the back, I'm from up as the king, get up through the amazing, 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 amazing. Yahweh is amazing, amazing, amazing. Amazing, I'm going to stand walls and communities, they managed to make a man. Built the house down to one man to take my hand with his paper. I know I'm man with a smile across my face. I never got a pick it, never did. They gonna keep the hating and so I can't serve this. Time to turn it up, it's getting hot in the kitchen. There's only one second. Tell me who we pray to. Yellow, yellow, hey, who was amazing, 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 amazing. Yahweh is amazing. All right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Good. Very beautiful. Yeah, it is amazing. Like I said, we have never, because he is everything. And I guess that's why he just summed it up in his name. He said, tell them, Yah, that's my name and that's my memorial. I will be. What? Everything.
Everything. Hallelujah.
Anything. All things. That's what he did with giving us his.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's righteous. All
Right. All the time.
that way. Tonight, my Moses had, and I said, at first I said, no, what? Then I said, oh, yes, yes. I said, there were 2 tablets written with the finger of Yahweh himself. He looked at me and said, wait a minute. He said, I can't do that. My fingers will hurt. I said, I know, my fingers will hurt too. I said, let me think about it. Again, he said, it's Shabbat Shalom. Glad to be here on the first day of the 2nd month. So we've embarked on that as well. Glad to see everyone that's out. I'm especially elated as I look over to my right. Oh, great thing. And made fringes and garments. I know. Any questions this week that we can bring forth, or anybody wish to bring forth? At this point, we'll take those.
No idea what they were talking about. But
Hmm?
they are Israel and I guess something like that. I didn't go into it further. I don't know what they're talking about, and I don't even know if I want to know what they're talking about. But I thought I'd bring it to class. So I guess for a defense, because I have no idea. So I can block that with everything else that I hear around here. Hallelujah.
Oh yeah. Hallelujah. Well, of course, 120 days, if you look at it in a certain perspective, of course, that's 4 months. Months, and you count them, you're looking at what month? Yes. And so there is a thought, August, and the Almighty will be back. Yes, yeah.
I ain't the bright one. We missing on I would think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot, but I know some of the stuff. I got some.
Yes. That's I can understand why or where it's coming from, the background. And it's good to say, it's good to know that in 4 months, we'll be delivered. That's the gist of it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Review, like, what, can we talk about what the steps is? Is it just from the Old Testament? Because I'm still taking my time through the New Testament. I've been on Matthew forever because I've just been skipping. I have because it'd be live, and then I found myself going from the Old Testament, and I'm like, and so I've been on there for like 3 months.
Well, you won't find. Well, you can search from Matthew to Revelation, and you're not gonna find the note when it's.
I just wanted to make sure.
so yeah, like a dog chasing the tail. It's circles and help you. And anything you find there is a rich testament. We should already be saved. We are already saved.
Yeah, that's cute.
So, and again, like I said, they going opposite direction. So there's not much to find. Greta said something before we go. We're gonna start there. Are there any other comments before we embark from anybody? Yes, sir. Question, comment.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Man, this first month was good, you know what I mean? I think, the 40 days since the holiday, and we've been on quarantine. I just heard about Georgia opening up. They open up the gym, the saloon, bowling alley. I'm like, it's the bowling alley place to open up. Man. But something. I've been cautioned since the 40 day out and stuff like that. And so the 40 days, because we've been on 40 days, then March 7th to May the public 40 days, and something in the Bible. But 40 days, like somebody good thing or bad thing, 40 days. And my ex is I did say about why you say all the porn? Wait, I read that before the day of time or before day. So I know it's the second. If we had second radios that come on by, a lot of people died. So I know a lot of people in the nursing home and the jail involved. You know what I mean? If you got somebody in the nursing home in jail, the coronavirus tear up inside there. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
When y'all play had closed the book, I just asked, and I'm like, I kept going back to myself. Okay, well, I know you can only give me so much.
Anyone else? Well, and let me, before I start, let me say, you'll be, that our sister, you'll be in our prayers, you and your family. I've been in the house of Israel, been around, saw your children, but you seen mine grow up, and now look at them. When people used to look at me, and I do feel a sense of looking at them, and I do feel a sense of, I try to keep that frame of mind. Wow. I saw him at work, and I didn't even know who he was. And I went in this particular building several times. I kept looking, and I said, this guy looked for me. But I would never ask. And he kept looking. We definitely going to have him in our prayers and ask the Almighty to give the whole family strength. And as you said, we never know. We ask the Almighty for things, but we never know the manner in which His reply is gonna come. That's, sometimes we asking and we thinking of that it should come a whole nother way, and He delivers it to us in the manner in which He wants to deliver it to us. We find, if we're willing, we'll find out a lot of things about ourselves through certain situations. I said not always, because it's not always this is what you want. It's not always you want to be the strongest person, but sometimes things happen so that you can be the strongest person. Of course, it wasn't in that fashion, but I likened, when I sat there and I heard your testimony, I likened it to one way. And a lot of times he comes, and especially when you say, well, this must have happened to me, and it's always cut and dry to us that happened to me because I done did something wrong, or I'm a bad person. This is his, and We made it that cut and dry, and it's not one dynamics of what we're dealing with. I like the story, Will, please.
I will say this too while we're turning there, Jeff. When I was
I didn't, what, I didn't think it would happen like this. I didn't want it to happen like this,
but
Go to Genesis,
what do you say?
my brother.
I was in First Kings at first.
You're in the First King, huh?
I was there at first.
You trying to catch that tiger's tail, huh?
Yeah, I was in Joseph.
The tiger got away from him. Genesis,
Genesis.
37th chapter.
Genesis chapter 37.
Mhm.
Hallelujah.
Oftentimes, people, and I just, it just drove me here. Cause like I said, it's a lot of times that's how things are. Great things. You get all the, I got great things coming my way. And then as you get to going, you be like, things. Wait a minute. This ain't so great. This situation not so great. Start first verse.
Hallelujah. Genesis chapter 37, verse 1. And Yaakov dwelt in the land where his fathers were strangers, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Yaakov. Yosef, being 17 years old, was feeding a flock with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all the children, because he was the son of his old age.
So he had him when he was a little bit older, So he was a little more.
The father loved him more than all his brethren. They hated him and could peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more.
You see, envy is a terrible thing.
Yes, it is.
Cool. It's horrible. That's why I said, who can stand before envy? Who can stand before? It's horrible.
Said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. And behold, we were binding sheaves in the field. My sheep and also stood upright. And behold, your sheep stood around about and made obeisance to my.
There's a lot of lessons in this story. Because as a young man, there's something, and as a young person, there's something that one has to learn. And it's called, and even the older people sometimes,
Yes, sir.
there's something called discretion.
Hallelujah.
In other words, it still ain't right. Everybody else know what you know.
All right.
Like they say, them that know.
That's right.
And them that say, to let the cat. And here as a young man, and that's what they have to learn. And I say young people because a lot of young people, that tends to be how they are. When something's happening, they have to let everybody know. All the social media stuff. I had to let everybody know. I was watching something. I don't know if it was staged or if it was real. But I was watching something that I did down a little bit through my Facebook the other day. And it had a young mask on. But I imagine she just got maybe her check or stimulus. And she handing the money out. And like I said, I don't really know if it was staged because the dude, I guess, is a performer as well. But you see a hand reach through window and just snatched the money from her, and she got to get out, snap and gone. It's something called discretion.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
I have it. I need to know.
Yes, sir.
That's with a lot of things. There's something to be said. That's your own discretion.
Yeah.
Discernment. Because it's not always wise to just let things out. Consider time and place for the right time. And we wasn't in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you. Hey, you ever told somebody something, you whispered to them, hey, and they be like, what? You said what? You like, that's why I don't tell you nothing. That's why you don't tell you the next time you know. Nope. And back like, nope. If I wanted them to know, huh?
Yes, sir.
Learn discretion. The child. And then parents, because a lot of lessons here, you're gonna see it. She used to, as a young baby. One of my neighbors, she used to talk about it, because she had a nice little friend that came over. And I hear my mother talking about it. And then one day I went outside and I said, oh, look, Ma, there goes so-and-so, you know what? And all she could do was look and smile. She, boy, when I got in the house, boy, what? She went to work. What? Got a grown man around him when I think he's not paying attention and don't know what I'm talking about. That's exactly the joke of paying attention and know what I'm talking about. And so I learned that, and I learned that now and raised in mind, because I have little me right now.
For behold, finding sheep in the field, and lo, my sheep arose, and also stood upright.
And that's what he told him. And his brother said to him, what? Shalt thou what?
Reign over us?
You trying to
or shall thou indeed dominion over us? And
discretion. And I want to say, because it's not implied, but like I said, discretion. I said, don't mean that sometimes you don't have to do nothing. But like I said, discretion, who you with.
Yes,
A lot of cases, sometimes you might have to practice discretion on me. Well, I would like to tell Pop, but if I tell him, he might go and do X, Y, Z. I can't tell him right now. It's just something for navigating those. And especially in this world, when you're around people, when you venture out, even more. So that means the whole world on fire. The fire is not some distant stranger, it's blood kin. And with everything going on, it's infuriating them all the more. But what he's saying is true. They're gonna bow to him, but it's getting ready to take us on a journey that we don't know how that's about to come around.
Yes, sir.
That's the only thing. It ain't what he's saying ain't true. It's just the journey. And believe you me, the day he spoke this to him,
I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here am I. And he said to him, go.
especially, see, the Almighty only want them to be such a party. If they go beyond that, then there's great wrath incurred on them. He only allowed them to do what he wants them to do to put you in the place anointed.
I made my anointed
And do
my prophet no harm.
Moreover,
he called for famine upon the land.
And he break
the whole staff, so for servant.
about the part where I dreamed that everybody gonna be bowing to me.
Mm.
I never dreamt about the part where I'm gonna be a servant to others.
Yeah.
My dream said everybody gonna be bowing to me. But before you can be a good ruler, you gotta have to be a good ruler.
Yes, sir.
That's why the Almighty said, and when he delivered the whole house of Israel, for you yourself, you know the heart of a stranger was treated unfairly and without equity. So you more than anybody
Oh, God.
should know how to treat. Moreover, he sent this man Joseph, who was sold for what?
Sir,
Whose feet?
they hurt the feathers. He was laid in iron.
They took him in and out of prison.
Until the time that his word came.
Things transpired in his life until the time that Yahweh's word came to pass. Until that time that Yahweh's word came to pass, that Yah looked upon this man, young man, and said, now he's ready to fulfill that dream. The Almighty did what? He tried him to make him. Things don't just come easy. There's going to be trials. There's going to be tribulation.
If you don't have a story, I can't give y'all the glory.
And after the Almighty tried him, and the Almighty do it for a lot of different reasons. You have a son. I promise you a son. And then you'll have a seed like the stars in heaven and the sands of the sea. All right? Yeah. Thumbs up. Okay. And then when he had stopped the presses, nowhere when you gave me that promise and made that covenant, nowhere did you say anything about killing this boy. Matter of fact, you said he's going to be like the stars of heaven. And how is that going to happen? And I'm supposed to bring him up here and kill him. You know, I said, kill him. Then he thought about it. He said, well,
oh, God.
That now he knew how his relationship with Yahweh was. Because Yahweh Almighty told him, when he said, Abraham, in the scripture, of course, in the reader say, now I know. Not faithful. But that wasn't for the Almighty. He already knew it. And what the Almighty was conveying is, now do you know? Because you yourself might not know how strong you are. And you won't know until, and everybody, 17, 16, 18, everybody can swim because they have pool water. But I'm seeing myself, I'm seeing the lake get dark as I'm sinking. And ain't nobody jumped in. There wasn't no crisis. I was in full-blown crisis.
Nobody
paying.
Ooh, that's scary.
I learned how to swim. In the midst of crisis, I learned how to swim. Because sometimes, but it wasn't until I went through it that this is what they would, so I can find out what I need to find out about myself. So till the word came to pass, the Almighty, it said he what? Tried him.
Yes, sir.
And that's what even Joseph understood when we turn back now to Genesis. It was Yah. When we go back to
Genesis,
and they did what?
Obeisance to him.
And they did obeisance to him.
Obeisance to him.
Huh? Watch this. Genesis 50th chapter. But how it's gonna happen? But Genesis 50th chapter.
Yes, sir.
Start at 17th verse.
Hallelujah. Genesis chapter 50, verse 17. So shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brother.
Start at 15.
Hallelujah. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, and when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him.
Because I go back to what my brother said earlier. Somehow, when we get to thinking, I'm gonna give him evil for evil.
Mm-hmm.
There's an old saying, fight fire with fire, right?
Right.
Wrong.
Wrong.
You put a fire out. You introduce fire to fire, it's gonna become. I ain't never seen no man, I don't know where that saying came. I ain't never seen no man run and say, hey, light me some more fire. This fire out.
Fighting forest fire. That's why.
Flare up on your kitchen stove. You don't be looking around with no, hey, give me some more fire. Make it hotter. No, instinctively you turn to what? Turn the faucet on.
Yes,
Water.
sir.
Or fan it with air. Anything but the element that's already there.
Yes, sir.
It don't work. It don't come out good. And what I said, two rights, right? And in a lot of cases, it don't even make it even.
Don't make it even.
You might feel you got even, but in a lot of times, it can be your detriment.
Yes, sir.
He killed him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm just gonna kill him. No trial, no justice in the way it should be handled. I'm just gonna kill him. Okay, yeah. You know what? And that's what I did. I blew his brains out. And you telling people that from behind the bars. That you from going. I told him he wasn't gonna see the penitentiary. But you do. You do. Huh? I might want him dead, but let's have a trial, let's prove it. And when the judge said, what you think you ought to be done with him? Thing to come up and speak your piece. I don't want him to lie. I want him for murdering my baby. I want him to face the death penalty. Because see, I'm not the kind of Israelite that'll go up there to we all done did wrong and no. You take my son, I'm like scripture. I'm gonna let him be tried, but when they ask me, well, Mr. Israel, what is your recommendation for him for the court? In the hands of you white men and y'all, he should have thought about that when he was doing evil too. Because that's what got us all here. But the Creator said, his blood, I want his blood. And I don't want to have to wait 15 years. I really want you to take him out right now. I don't have to be there because he told me not to get, I won't get no satisfaction. You know, might as well it. I want him because that's the only thing that can make this right.
That's right.
For what he did. Huh? But I can't just haphazard myself. That's why people get that wrong. Don't it say an eye for an eye, tooth for yeah, but you ain't read the scriptures. You don't know what that's saying. Not a proper understanding. That means injustice, complete justice. That don't mean this shoot off Matt Dillon type justice. Wild West type stuff. Because that can escalate things a bigger
Sister's only son got killed. And I told my sister that for the people to shoot somebody, you killed my son. So I never go to my son again. I gotta go to a cemetery and look at a plaque, which ain't no for what you done. But if you get a petition, sign it. And especially for the mothers who's lost children, you can't go visit your son in jail because you took that away from me and I can't visit my son. Get that petition started. I don't care about the mothers who your children. We lost your child. So sign that petition and come up with a law like the white people do.
That's right.
Come up with a law and their mothers, they can't go see their children because it's an accident. Right. But I told her to start that because I don't think you should be allowed to see your child because you took that and your child made that choice.
he had a choice. He thought
That's
about
right.
it, you know. So he had a choice.
And that's why the Creator said, because goeth
Mm-hmm.
speedily in the hearts of the sons of men to do evil. All this murdering, and because of that, you can fight it, and you can go be with the rest of your fellows who got shipped away. It's like a little reunion, nothing serious about it. But the minute you start letting people see the seriousness of their consequences of their actions, on to curtail some of the foolishness that yeah, that's gonna curtail it, because that's what it was meant to do. It's not meant to bring you satisfaction when you put the murderer to death, because you don't like to see no life being taken. But what it does do is it deters the nation have to see this man suffer for doing that. It should make the next person be like, wait a minute, let's hold up on that. And so it won't run rampant like it's running rampant, doing something that's reckless as they doing. Great. Well, yeah, and it's always been us. And that's why I said they have, I know, because they think about that. They think about that if they're going to ride out to Amberley Village. That's why you don't see them go out there. That if they're going to ride up to Mount Adams, that's why but they don't have nothing to deter them amongst each other from doing that. And if any the law is Israel. That's why he gave the law to Israel.
Hallelujah.
And we would have walked in it and show the rest of the world how to walk in it. They were murderers. Well, we were murderers too. We were murderers before we met them.
Yes, sir.
That's why he gave us over into their hands.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. You deserve it.
And killed. Taken out. So, you know, like at the end when the trial was over, he hit the guy, you know, and he did some stuff. He was with somebody that you wanted, so you shot them both. You even shot them when they were dead. You know, and you was making sure my sister, she had sent back. She said, well, Christian, I forgive you. God said she took her on spot.
Yeah.
You done took them kids. She had twins. Twins might have been 9 or whatever. They don't even know the name. These people don't know their father.
Never know.
When they make those choices, you don't think about all the people. You about the
Right.
Never know.
you know, you don't think about that. So I said, shoot the man on spot.
And we talk about justice.
Justice, yes, sir.
Because that's what was appalling about the you know, I can understand maybe with the young man, because he young man, friend of mine. But that's what was appalling about the young man when he jumped up in the court. And then the judge, come on, give me a hug.
Yeah.
Give the girl a personal bond. You don't want because it ain't enough story you can make walk in an apartment that don't look nothing like yours. I don't care how I've never been that tired where I pulled up in front of someone's house, walked up the walkway, walked in their house, looked around the house, not like my house, sitting there, and then walked over to the person and said, hey, house, and started beating on them, and all that went on. Who believes something like that? Then when it happened, then somebody, I would be rolling over if that happened. And he talking about, for me and my whole family. And that's one time I crawl out my spirit and I try to hunt him. I might be a familiar spirit to everybody. Especially the one who talk about it. You especially, I'll never leave. Yo, just knocking across. We moved with just that house. We moved to this, and this thing, same thing still. Yeah, you ain't lying. Because I can't rest. You talking some mess like that. Because that's not justice. That's not justice. And she should have bore the full weight of justice. Because that's crime. It was a crime. So now they got to meet justice. We don't fight fire with fire. We want justice. And fire with fire is different. And here his brothers going back to Genesis, he was gonna want revenge and fight with fire. Because that's what they thought about the matter. And so that's why they said what?
And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us.
Because we what?
But we hated him.
Because we hated him.
We hated him.
So it ain't only natural that he gonna what? Now that
He
the
gonna
brother
hate
got
us.
the gun, he what?
So how we?
Because all that hate we show him.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And will certainly requite us all the evil we did unto him.
And you know all that stuff we did to him. You can't tell me he forgot about that. He gonna and Daddy gone now. Our only buffer. Oh, he really gonna come down on us. Our only buffer. Hell to pay, y'all. Go ahead.
And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did before he died, saying, so shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil, and now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of thy servants, of the Elohim of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. Brethren also went and fell down before his feet, and they said, behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for I am in the place of.
Look at that 18th verse again. What happened?
And his brethren also went and fell before his face.
They did the exact same thing that he saw in his dream, but like I said, we just never saw that was gonna happen. How it was gonna be made to happen. It come to pass. They did exactly what he saw, and that was obeisance, bowing down.
Yes, sir.
Before what?
Before his face.
Before his face.
And they said, behold, we be thy servants.
And they made themselves
his servants.
His servants. Yeah. Just like he dreamed. But between the dream and this point, we just never knew he himself was gonna be sold into slavery.
Yes, sir.
Go in and out of jail.
Yes, sir.
Huh? We never saw all the things that was gonna befall him. Be falsely accused. Huh? Lose things. We never saw all that. He never knew all that. But all that transpired to get him to this point that the Almighty wanted him at. And look what he said.
And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of Elohim?
Or am I in the place of Elohim?
But as for you, you thought evil against me.
See what you thought to take and use for evil.
Elohim meant it unto good.
My Elohim meant it for good.
To bring the past as it is this day to save.
To bring the what?
People alive.
What?
To bring the past.
To bring the past.
As it is this day.
As it is this day. And that's why we said last week, the past is a part of us.
Yes,
but
sir.
It can't be our focus.
Because
what doesn't happen, you can't reach back and you can't change it. But what you can do is destine what's ahead of you and help determine that. That's fuel to get over. I watched a documentary on took him up. Because those that know him, you know it, because you remember. It took him from being up, riding high, to being where when they talk to him, initially, and I mean the initial thing, because he's going from light years, moving light years, to not moving at all. But when his mother comes and he comes through, he's just laying there and he communicates this. Has to do got his eyes. So he goes from tune to in an instant. So, you know, and like I said, I don't know, but maybe that's why I watched that, you know, because maybe we, and it set him on the course and set him on the course, you know, to where he went to all them places. To the place where he didn't even want to be alive anymore. And what they did, they found a man who had experienced the same thing that he had experienced. And he was he was bound to a wheelchair. Went through the exact same thing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. They can. Yeah, they've been divorced 2 times. They can't tell me nothing. I don't care if you've been divorced 50 times. I can get something out of him. Cause he tell me what he did. He tell me not. That's what I don't do to get me a divorce for. I can get something out of anything now. But he found his man, and this man, you know, dealt with him. And the final thing he did, because you know he could see one thing, and this was a lesson, because he was caught up in his despair, rightfully so, and everything. So the man said, "Well, here's what we're gonna do." He said, "You want to end it all? You want to end your life? Do that." He said, "But do this for me. Before you do that, we're gonna do something." It is they staged over him, and people invited the family, invited everybody, you know, that they knew him, and every people came. When they came, the people they said, talk to him like he is. Don't talk, you know, just say what's on your heart and talk to him like he's not alive. And when people started talking raw, you're not, where did you get this? They said when they pulled here. He spoke it. He spoke it. I want to live. And not only did he go from, it allowed him to get mobility some in his upper body, regain mobility where he can move arms, that when he finally, he can still, in his ability to move his arm, to rock a little bit, because when he started releasing, and he went on to release 6 more albums. Gain gold records off of those albums. And be one that not only affected and had a fan base here in the United States, but now had a fan that was global around the world.
Oh God.
And as I sat there watching with tears in my eyes, that's what this, even as accomplished as it was, his latter end. Although we don't design it like that, and he surely didn't ask for it to be, his latter end was greater than his former end. And it meant, and they had recordings of him, and it meant so much more to him what he did and recorded his accident. He said than any of the songs he recorded before his accident.
Oh God.
And I said, man, I was stunned. And I even know somebody personally whose life was a testament to that. Y'all know him too. Y'all know him too. Oh, y'all. He taught me. And if you know his story, then you know. And the tremendous help he was to thousands of people after a particular incident. And who could have foreseen? I was young, just coming in this way when it happened. And who could have seen that? And yes, he wore the mark of it to the day that he slept with the fathers. But it did not get in the way of what the Almighty had in store for him to do. So things will happen. But when they happen, they can't be the things that get in the way if the Almighty ordains it to be so. It's the thing the Almighty will to put the fire and light the fire in you to make you better, stronger, and greater for the task to come.
Hallelujah.
So, like I said, our prayers is with him. My encouragement is with him and with the family, with everybody, because all of y'all are touched by it. But the Almighty mercy endures forever.
Yes.
And what he is doing, just hold on to him. Like we won't understand until the end. The latter, we won't understand until the end. But the end will probably be greater than the former. And all of us have to have those life-changing moments if the Almighty go in our life. And it's just to what degree? Go to Psalm 119.
Psalms 119.
See, even the world. Universal principle. A little tragedy is coming to the world. To do what? To slow the world down. To slow the world down. The other day, but I heard something the other day and they said, this is the cleanest air that the United States in years.
Heard about China the other day.
The cleanest air that they've had in years. Why? Being allowed to do all that traveling and all that air traveling and sea traveling, not able to pollute the heavens like they've been doing. Because everybody got to fall for a minute now.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
That's funny you say that, more.
Yeah.
In Beijing, they
Yeah.
had the highest pollution rate on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And this is the first time in over 20 years
Yes.
that their pollution rate has dropped 30%.
Yes. Yes.
And then they say, unfortunately, they said it ain't gonna last.
They getting ready to go right back to
It's
it.
getting ready to go right back through the roof.
Because that's what they doing. He just took his foot off that region and now they done open back up and they getting ready to get right back to.
Yes, sir.
Won't look at what got him. Because as he said, as the elder said, well, who is responsible? Who is responsible? Well, number one, just like bacteria, a virus is natural.
Yeah.
Nobody can create a virus. A virus, bacteria, all these, they're natural. Now, what man can do is he can take it and try to mechanize it and make it into a weapon. But when you do that, you play a dangerous game of Russian roulette, and that's something that can get away from you. And that's what has happened here.
Yes, sir.
He done played a game of Russian roulette, and it's something that the Almighty said, okay, you want to mess with, that's why certain things he'll tell us, and he command us, don't even mess with it. Stay away from it. Limits right off the top, because you don't even need to be messing with it, because it can get out of your control. You dealing with things you have no business dealing with. Leave that to me. Because as the sister and elder said, yes, 20 years I dare say, because you got it on labels. Not only that, I saw it said a little valve. It said the K9 coronavirus vaccine. So it was a vaccine. So the vaccine already been. So this. So how did this genie get out the bottle? Except somebody let it out the bottle. Got something for you. You want to mess? I'll let it get totally away from you. And when it gets totally away, and it's able to just choom, 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 choom. Now, messing with things you ought not be messing with.
Yes,
It's
sir.
something you don't mess with. So everybody now, because of a few, everybody is being afflicted. But for the wise, it's good. Look at what it says in Psalm 119:67.
Before I was wicked, I went astray. But now I have kept thy word.
Yeah, see, it don't set in until what?
Something done happened.
Until something happens. Who can raise their hand and testify?
Because I'll be honest.
Before I went astray, I was afflicted when I went astray. When I strayed from what? When I strayed from the righteous.
Yes, sir.
Now, when we talked this morning, me and some of the brothers on Proverbs, it says, train the child in the way he should go. But saying train the child, because one, in the church and we departed. I said that's because that wasn't the way we were supposed to go.
Hallelujah.
In the way it's supposed to go, that means give them the right thing, the right instruction.
Hallelujah.
And when they get the chance to have that, this way it tried to bend the rules, but it came back and slapped me and got me right back over. This the truth.
Hallelujah.
What mom said, this the truth. What mom said, this the truth. That was the way I should be going. So you find out. Wait. None of that flim stuff that they talking about. Let's stay with this. Because yes, when you go astray, you will be what? Afflicted. He said, but now I
kept thy word.
I got my senses back and I kept your word. Every last bit of it. For thou art what?
For thou art good.
And doing what?
And does good. Teach me thy statutes.
Teach me thy statutes. For the proud
have forged to lie against me.
But I
will keep steps with my heart.
It's a lot like what we've been teaching. They asking people to do things that we have found the precepts of the Almighty to be good, been doing for years.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody had to tell us all of a sudden be clean.
That's right.
We've been trying to be clean and we took the Almighty word serious.
Hallelujah.
We've been being clean.
Hallelujah.
Huh? Yes, we've been doing it. When we was here, like I said, I remember one time they had me living over in California. They said, well, what about, you got the common cold, should you stay home? I said, if you think you infectious and contagious, means keep your tail at home.
Right.
Why come here and then you shaking hands with folks, oh, let me kiss and doing all, and now everybody around here next week half the class missing. Well, what happened to the class? They sick. They sick. Think he got the flu. Huh?
And then you sit over here all happy.
Huh? So we've been doing this because we know what? Precepts of the Almighty.
Hallelujah.
You want to talk about quarantine? It ain't quarantining since the what, but we've been known it because that's what the Almighty separate yourself. The Almighty said, what a difference between the clean
And the unclean.
and the unclean. And in so many different variations.
Hallelujah.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Because again, he's the Almighty. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Hallelujah.
Trifling what we be on TV. Just jump up. Y'all know some of the shows sometimes.
Yes,
Jump
sir.
up. And some of these crazy shows they got now, they real off trifling.
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother house. Somebody in the dark giggling under the sheets, and then they get out there and they go to the next room. Trifling. Trifling. Creator said that's unclean. If you done mess with somebody,
Yeah.
then take your trifling tail and clean up before you mess with anybody else. Because that's you start getting stuff going. Because the truth of the matter is, this is one of the truth of the matter. Somebody said this is one of the nastiest countries. They want to always say somebody else now, but this is one of the nastiest countries that they in. And a lot of people got mad at him, but he said it years ago. They pulled out a tape years ago, and a lot of people upset because they just riding all this stuff about Democrats. But years ago, Donald Trump said, "Man," he said, "I don't shake people's hands." It was on 60 Minutes. They pulled a clip out of him. He said, I don't shake hands." He said, "Now only when I'm forced to." He said, "Because I think it's a nasty practice." He said, "Because you got people that want to shake your hand." He said, "I don't shake hands." He said, "I think it's gonna come a time," and he said this, like I said, it's a clip. He said, "I think it's 60 Minutes." He said, "I think it's gonna come a time in America where it's gonna be dangerous to shake hands." Hello?
Hello?
I said,
Yeah.
you can learn something from everybody.
Right.
Today, they think it's dangerous, huh? I mean, huh?
Man.
See, I ain't caught up on all that Democrat now and all that. I'm looking for different eyes. It made good sense. That was years ago. That's when people thought he was something because he had money and he had Trump down there, then they were going there and patronize. But he told the truth.
Same mindset.
He said, gonna come a time where it'll be dangerous.
But did you, see where he shook, under the prime minister, somebody saying, and then that person had, was told that they had the coronavirus about 3-4 days later. You already been practicing what you told.
He pricing what he yeah.
You already
Yeah.
paid attention to what he
Yeah.
told you.
Well, he said, and he
Not
said,
to.
he said only when he have to, and that's when he's forced to, because he got tape and watch it. He said,
No, but they told him not to.
but they told him not to, right?
Not to
Right.
shake.
Well, they done told him.
Already out.
They done told him to do a lot of things.
And he did it anyway.
Whatever. I said I told him today, now because quite as a kept, like I said, everything ain't being told.
No.
And he probably got stashed away just like the rest of them, because like they up there saying, I heard one little gentleman say yesterday, he said, "Well, you want everybody else man of it because I wear mine." But he was just making a statement. He said, "You want everybody else to wear masks?" He said, "But I don't see none of them that's telling us to wear masks on TV wearing masks." And they right there with one another in close proximity. I don't see them wearing masks. He said, "But you telling us to do it." And he was just making that statement. Now I'm aware of one, I've been out now and I've seen people and they still coughing in the air and hacking in the air. And you walking behind them, you might not know that they just vacated that spot. So when I go to Holly, it only makes good wisdom and sense for me to put one on. But the point he made was good because they doing a lot of things that they ain't supposed to be doing. And I think they doing because one, I think the big clowns, nice little cocktail that they already took that's keeping them from catching anything. That's what I think. That's my opinion. My opinion don't mean much. Yeah.
Real quick, so what you saying, because I seen a meme, I don't know if it was a meme, but on the message chat, there was somebody posted up the picture, there was like something like if you can fart and it get into the air and you can still breathe that in.
Yeah, I saw that little caption. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I did see something.
I saw that.
I ain't do the Barcelona. I ain't do the research on it. None. I ain't even look further into it. But I did. I seen someone and they were saying the coronavirus was turning people black.
Oh, right, the Chinese people. Right.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm like, this got to be something.
I saw
And
it
I'm
was
like,
too-
this can't be real right here. I know.
it's too, and that's why I said I'm not gonna speak on too much because they're seeing things today and the mind is running. But it's supposed to be two Chinese doctors, and they caught it, and then they got treated some kind of way. They were getting treated, but when they came through the treatment, from being the skin tone they was to being darker than you and I. So whatever during the treatment, they went to being jet black. If these the same people, I have my doubts because when they showed them, it was even the same people. It's like them commercials where they show you what people losing, and then the caption and be like, "Look, I grew it all back in just 1 month." Don't even look like the same person. Man, stop that, man. So like I said, some things you got to look
On the
into.
flip side, I'm wondering because I've been. It's something that's just trending now. Spoke about a lot of our people, brown skinned, dark skinned people that are literally bleaching themselves completely. I mean, they ain't even black no more.
I know what you're saying, and I will say this: in cancer patients, when you put all that Kim in them, they can darken up. I've seen people where they darken up once they go.
Okay, yeah.
And the radiation, and it,
Yes, sir.
because it is such a high doses and fed into them constantly, and you see them up,
Yeah.
they get darker
Yes, sir.
because the stuff wreak havoc. You don't know what these things is doing. So with that said, yes. But to get back to scriptures,
How we got?
and that 69th verse, the proud are for, but I will wait. I will.
Like precepts with my whole heart.
Yeah, because these are things we've been in the word. So it's nothing new to us to do what everybody else is to do. Now, I've seen my Christian brothers and sisters, and I don't want to make them mad, but I've seen, and they trying to quote Old Testament scripture. Stop that.
Yeah.
Because before all this happened, they didn't give the Old Testament no consideration. So why you starting to quote it now and run to it now? And them the ones that they start talking about quarantine in the Bible, but they don't understand the word that they. Because the only 40-day period they probably that I'm aware of that's set apart, and that was in one occasion. That's when the young woman had a man child. She's unclean for 7 days. Then she's to continue in the purification for 33 days. And it's doubled if she have a female child.
They don't believe in their own book.
But they don't believe. So why should they? So why they run to it now?
Because they done found out the truth. Christ told them not to wash their hands.
And then verse 70, let's continue. But their heart is what?
Facts and grieves.
But I
delight in thy law.
Then he,
it is good for me that I have been afflicted. That I learn thy statutes.
It is good that I've been afflicted, that I might learn your statutes.
The law of thy mouth.
The law of Yahweh's mouth
is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver.
It's better unto me to finally learn, to really understand that the law of Yahweh is better for me than gold pieces and thousands of silver.
Thy
And I
hands.
only learned that. I only learned that when I get a good dose of what? Affliction.
Affliction. Yes, sir.
When a little storm come into my life.
I can see it. That's the time.
Then I learn it.
Yes, sir.
Then I learn what's most important.
Yeah.
Like I said, just like this, a little storm in everybody's life. And that's most important.
Preparation, Yahweh.
You know, brother, this was Atlanta.
Yes.
Then when the brother said, man, I was in Atlanta, face to face, I said, yeah. I said, I wish we do too. I said, but it's good. You know, I said, cause maybe, and we don't know when we're gonna be able to have that kind of function again.
Yeah.
I said, but maybe we'll have it. We'll be to learn something.
Oh,
And that is everybody in truth and sincerity. And everybody will be there. And when they see each other, it'll be out of truth. The hugs will be out of truth. The shalom will be out of truth. All the adornments, all the engagements, they'll be out of truth. Because you've been away and you've been having to be away. Handshake, hugs, and all that kind of thing. Being true. Shalom, shalom. And there wasn't a lot of this to go with it. But y'all might, I got something for you. I got something for you. You can't go and you back. Now when you do get a chance to go back, maybe you'll appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
for those of you who wasn't.
Oh, God.
So I say praise Yah. Let it be what that we might be really appreciative of coming together under Yah to be with Yah.
Oh, God.
And let that be period for when things congregate, you come back to congregation. Come back with a new way of looking at things. There ain't no perfect congregation, but maybe right now that I have a place I can go. Now, if you didn't appreciate it before and you don't appreciate it then that's just shame on you. But after coming through this, yeah. So yeah.
You found respect.
You know, if you don't, like I said, it's an ill wind that never changed. My mother told me. But for them that have any sense, it'll be good. This will be good for them in every aspect. This will be good. Like I said, I've never been one that was super. Matter of fact, to a fault, people say around they say you work too much. But I never had a greater appreciation for my job than I do now. That I ain't been there for a couple of weeks. I can't wait to get back behind that bus and roll it and obey every law on do 25, and everything. A bottle for the first 2 weeks. Now after that, all bets is off. I probably revert back like China. Revert back to speed. Yeah. Brother Aaron, yeah. We're in the stop sign. Yeah, that's Brother Aaron. But at least the first 2 weeks, baby, we gonna roll. The first 2 weeks, you got me. I'm gonna be on time. And the first 2 weeks, all bets is off. You know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. You know, real late. That's what it is. Nah, hopefully change. You know, hopefully change. Because that's what to your life for. You know, to magnify things. Need to be where there's deficiencies and where things need to be changed, where things need to be worked on. So you can see where you can see things that you see before then. You know, it's not a pity party, woe is me, and like I said, just what I did wrong or what I think I did wrong in the past, because you don't get that back. But what can you do better in the future? And you know, like I said, then that's my message to him. Now, we ain't gonna but yesterday passed and we don't get yesterday. But we can worry about today and we can worry about tomorrow. And not only worry about it, because if we can't worry, it ain't gonna help us. We can know what to do. You know what to do. So yes, let's go on, let's go forward. You know, the Almighty is giving you strength, He's giving you life, He's with you, and He worked in the past. he'll keep working. He'll keep working. So yes. So I was, as I sat over there, I had to address that and wanted to address that. And like I said, you give him personally that I'm with him, spirit, and even if I have to come out and be with him physically, I'm willing to do that as well. So yes, and let him know his Elohim is with him and all of it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
About 5 o'clock right now. Where you at?
There he is.
There he
Here
is.
this week.
Yeah, he said, I gotta come back this week. Hey, butchering up my song. I gotta come and do it this week. He said, you want something done right, gotta do it yourself. I gotta go. Brother Aaron said we can't have a so many like bump, Brother Aaron. I don't want to do my song. Y'all want to give us a little?
All right.
You got the sound? All right. We're gonna bring y'all up. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get into the other question.
Hallelujah.
There's a little more. What you say back there, brother Michael? You got another one.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
So amazing. It's incredibly amazing. Now I'm playing with
You finished just about 2 bars.
All right.
Hallelujah.
All right.
All right. Can you get him up there, Mo Ray?
Yes, sir.
He's ready.
That's all he is.
He's ready for you, brother.
Yeah. I ain't keep the bills.
Go ahead, brother. Oh.
Pray, Holy Saturday, is the community. Yeah, it's community. You could be talking to. Oh, and Holy Spirit, just how we are your feel us. Come by your life, without only for your. Oh, praise God, Holy Spirit, yeah, it's the one. Let's say go to the Yahweh. It's Saturday to be home.
praise God. Holy Saturday. Talking to. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Talking to me. You could be the one he's talking to. You could be the one he's talking to. Hallelujah. You could be. The one he's talking to. Praise, praise God. Only holy Sabbath.
You gonna do it from your phone? You already connected?
What's wrong?
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what you think?
Hallelujah.
You unconnected?
Freestyle Saturday.
You got time you gonna freestyle?
Oh, well.
What you mean, well, man?
All right, Shabbat Shalom again.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy New Moon.
No more. Hallelujah.
I'ma get it together, bro. We all do our part. I dance like this, I jam like this, I pray like this, I preach like this, I touch like this, and I get it, first thing of the day, I get it, the nice even kicks, I Corey, I respect all my enemies. My living corners, lifted, giving up. Look, I get it from my eyes. I get it from my eyes. The fact I feel they only see. I get it in my nation where I can be there. I get it from my eyes. I get it from my eyes. There is I know that's the earth like perfect builder. I get it from my get it from my other. I get it, but I get the way where I go, where I go, where
I see you say, you gonna do a song? Oh.
You do a blast from the past. What? Oh, nah, say, come on. Oh, this boy, you too good. What you doing? Now, see, you say you doing y'all. All I do is pray. God, if I pray for you, I'm praying. I is pray to God. If I pray for you, I'm praying. Yeah, trouble soul, I give to God. All I do is pray to God. If I pray for you, I'm praying to God. All I do to, yeah, my thoughts is on, yeah, my heart is filled, yeah, my heart is filled, yeah, all is pray to God. If I pray for you, I'm praying to God. If I love you, to God. My power is behold, He is name, Yah, my King. He is Yah, overflowing rain. Oh my God, if I pray for you, I'm praying to Yah. All I do is pray to Yah. If I pray for you, I'm praying to Yah. Breath of life, my God. See, pray for you. I'm praying to God. All I do is pray to God. If I pray for you, I'm praying to God. Me, my God, gather me. Shepherd, yeah, Israel, no, yeah, Israel, no, yeah, Israel, no, shine bright, oh, shine bright, oh, yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty God. We got any more? Anybody else coming up? Got another song, brother? No, you know, y'all don't want nothing incomplete. You know, I don't either, so at the top of the list, you know, don't give y'all nothing, half, you know the rest, all right? Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Well, you know, I ain't gonna let the glory, testimonies heard, move your spirit. You know what I'm saying? It has made you feel some kind of way. And you know, I give thanks and praise to the Most High Yah for all the things that people say. And I think it's a beautiful thing. So I give thanks and praise to the Most High Yah for even being alive. Hallelujah. For the morning breath. Looking over my soul. Looking over my body while I slumping and slept. I was crawling through your window. So I give thanks and praise to you, y'all, for not letting no thieves walk through my window, for not letting no venomous through my seats. I thank you, y'all, for watching over me. Oh, it's so wonderful and it's so pleasant to see. Oh, it feels so good when I see my Father looking down on me. Feeling like I do and like all my brothers and sisters do too, in all things in strength. And you know what happens? Do you really know what happens? When you take the time to listen, when you take the time to look into your spirit and into yourself, a little bit of to sit down and be quiet and sit in the storm and don't say a word. If you listen real careful, you'll hear a little voice, you'll hear a little sound, and he say, I'm here, son. I'm here, daughter. Just trust in me. Just lean on me. Hallelujah. Woo. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High Yah. Give yourself a hand. Now we ready. Hallelujah.
Wait a minute.
Like
let him get it at the end. We let him get it at the end. Yeah, we got the one back there too. Ali. Yeah, be quiet. Thank you, sir.
Hallelujah. Give everybody another round of applause. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Great job.
Before I go any further, I want to acknowledge one of our family in our midst, see him and his lovely wife. Want him to stand and introduce himself, say a few things that he don't mind. Be familiar here in this confines, so I'm gonna give him a chance to stand. Say to Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
It's great to see my beloved brothers and sisters around. And we always say he's our Savior, our Redeemer. I'm Morey Shashakar. This is my wife, Latanya. Of course, me and Morey Aaron, we talk on a weekly basis. I told him I was trying to get over here last Shabbat, but I take care of my mother and father 7 days a week. So the time got so late. So it's the same thing with the day. We got here later than we wanted. Again, you know, my parents have good days, bad days, you know, so, but praise the mighty Yah that I'm able to do what I'm able to do with my parents, and my wife is able to do what she does with her mother and her grandmother and her sister and take care of her family. So praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah. Anything? All right. We're glad to have you. Hallelujah. You should say it's not a suggestion, it is commandment. And commandment is thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother, and worthy of honor. And then in that honor, especially as they come to latter years, if one will, it's the duty of a child to secure them and to make sure that they are looked after, because that's the reciprocal pattern of life. They did so when you came into this world, and you could not look after yourself.
Yes, sir.
They looked after you.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, if they ever in that situation, maybe as they're sooner to depart this life than you, it's only natural and it's only the right thing and it's only the reciprocal. Extend that and pay that back to them.
Hallelujah.
So that's honor in looking after one's father and looking after one's mother. And there's nothing that is contrary to the Almighty. I know we look at our mother, and because what she have done, continues to do, we indebted to her to do so. And so we praise the Almighty, and people are finding out just how important their parents are.
Yes, sir.
Many people have had parents and loved ones, and I don't know everybody's situation, but they've had to put them in, and now with the grips of what is grabbing everybody, grab this whole country, they're not freely able to go and be with their loved ones like they wish they could be. And so they're finding out how important that is. And often in Israel, it's not that we didn't have it or we didn't have them, But we really didn't have a concept, as I've studied scripture, we really didn't have a concept of being big fans of sticking our loved ones, our parents, on somebody else to care for.
Right.
We care for them to the very end.
Right.
As we just read earlier, Joseph and all his brothers, they was right there. He was right there amongst them. When he went the way of all flesh, he was right there amongst his sons. That's who he was with. David, he was among his family. That's who he was with. Abraham, he was amongst his family. That's who he was, from everybody I can think of. They were amongst that died in the righteous their family. So that's how we looked at things. We was to cherish our elders because they were important. So we're glad that you're able to satisfy your duty to them and then have a little time to come and spend with us, carve out and spend with us.
Praise
Hallelujah.
God. Praise God.
Glad to have you here. Hallelujah. My sister, come to what was presented to you. We'll deal with this a little bit. And of course, your question stems from what you've heard that I guess in the 120 Israel will be delivered. I'm glad to know that. I gotta get home and really get cooked. I'm glad to know it. But then you asked and you said, well, don't it seem like we have a lot to do, or there's a lot of things that should happen within that time? And of course, everybody have been looking for, yes, I said, everybody has been looking for deliverance. It's been said on many occasions by many about Israel's deliverance. And like I said earlier, that's because in our minds, we have things, but when it boils down to it, it's a question sometimes, or it's a statement. And in that statement, it said, be careful what you're asking for, because you just might get it. And I'm reminded, and I know everybody wants to be delivered, and I know what's on the other end. We read earlier, what's on the other end? Peace at home with the Almighty and all of his great promises. But as we read earlier today, what do you have to endure to get there? See, it's not as simple as we make it in our minds. Well, this is going to happen and it's going to happen. And then poof, we're going to be wherever we envision ourselves being. But that's not the way the Almighty often works. And I want us to go to the book of Amos. You know deliverance, then you gonna have to step it up and really tell people what's come upon them.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amos?
Well, let's go.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to be Nothing that the Almighty ain't giving me. If I don't know a date or a time, then I don't know a date and a time. But one thing I do know from the Almighty is what must need be done. Because the Creator says something. And I'm careful. Because as much as I like to think about all the good things, and I do, and I think about them, and I teach them, and that's what I want. Like the scripture says, what do you want? But to inquire in the temple of Yah and to be there. We all want that. But I know what has to happen. And can't even be explained for us as a people. And I'm not talking about just people we know in prospective congregation and what we used to. And because it's more than just us. See, it's a lot of things. And I know I'm going to make some folks upset, but I really don't mind that. I never have I? No. Why start now? A lot of times we look at things based on what we know now. And not for what it is and what it has to be. And the whole house of Israel, the Almighty have not reached out and touched everybody that He want to touch. There's still some days for that to happen. And I'm not too anxious to see the great day of the Almighty. You see what a little bit of His wrath and His anger. You see what a little bit of it can do to the world. And what it has done to the world. This is just a touch.
A little taste.
Says that He will pull His sleeve back and He will bear His whole arm to the nations. That's not. And the Almighty says in the book of Amos 5.
Yes, sir.
Verse 1.
Hallelujah. Amos. Verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
O house of Israel, the virgin of Israel is fallen. She shall no more rise. She is forsaken upon her land. There is none to raise her up. But thus said Elohim, the city that went out by 1,000 shall leave 100, and that which went forth by 100 shall leave to the house of Israel.
You see this great reduction?
Yes.
You said a city that was composed of thousands gonna be dwindled down to just hundreds. And where hundreds, all that'll be left of you will be 10 of the house of Israel. In other words, we better be getting a real good picture of what the Almighty is talking about. Right. And when He starts talking in terms like remnant, He means exactly what He said. Now we read it and we got a notion in our mind what the remnant look like. Huh? And all y'all do and coming, y'all, you not there. Because we got in our mind what the remnant look like. Huh? But the Almighty knows what He knows who gets as a breaking point, who can go beyond. He understands this. He knows the totality of it. Now it's our job to try to forge ourselves in this instrument that can fit into that plan. But I never am so high-minded to think, even being a teacher, that I'm there. You might have me today, and you look up in the kingdom, and there be not a shred of me in sight. If with each and every chance I get, I don't take the monument to prove myself worthy of being there.
Oh,
and that's just what that is, to prove yourself worthy. Because it's not a lot of spots. Or y'all might in the word. But he says, go.
For thus said Yahweh unto the house of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
seek ye me, and ye shall live. But seek not Bethel, nor enter into, and pass not Beersheba, for Gilgal shall surely go into captivity, shall come to naught.
Now, why did he say, seek ye not Bethel, nor enter into Gilgal? Why he say that? Because it's at these places. Yes, sir.
They was worshiping deities.
Thank you. It's at these places when all falsehood started to realize where Jeroboam split from David, the Almighty, who had the total, maintained the total truth. Jeroboam, the first thing he did is he looked and he said, if I let the people go back to the house of David, he said, I lose. They'll go back, and then not only will I lose them, they'll kill me. What must I do? From Bethel to Dan, I must establish something, not of Yahweh, but of. That's why the Almighty said, what? Seek ye Yah, and you shall live. But not after they do in where? Bethel.
Nor enter to Gilgal.
Nor Gilgal, who fell into transgression.
And pass not to Beersheba.
Don't go to Beersheba. They who fell into great transgression.
For Gilgal shall surely go into captivity.
Because they're going to surely be taken.
And Bethel shall come to naught.
And Bethel, I'm going to surely cast that house away. So a wise man look well into his going when he's looking into things to believe, to see truly the Almighty.
That's right.
And that's from anybody. I don't care who the teacher is. Right. You better make sure that it's truly from the Almighty.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead.
Seek Yah, and ye shall live.
Mm-hmm.
Lest he break out like fire in the house of yourself, and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Bethel.
And he said he'll break out in the house of yourself like what?
Like fire.
Huh? Like he did in the house of yourself. That's why you read about Ephraim being taken. These ain't different places. Yes, Ephraim is still part of the house of it, but when the split came, pronounced places and capitals. Ephraim became an established capital, but at that place, they were not of the Almighty.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Ye who turn judgment to wormwood.
If you're one righteous judgment of the Almighty into wormwood.
And leave off righteousness in the earth.
And you go away to start departing from righteousness in the earth.
Seek him, 7 stars, and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth.
Seek him who
Yahweh is his name.
Seek him who have all power.
Hallelujah.
Power over the heavens, power over the earth, power over the sea. Seek him to have all power. That's why it's listing all these things, the 7 stars and the certain constellation. Seek him who have power in heaven and earth and in the sea and over all things. And Yahweh is his name.
Hallelujah.
Seek him. Go ahead.
That strengthen the spoil against the strong.
That strengthen the spoil or the weak. That gives strength. And that's what we talked about. Yahweh have to be your strength. Strengthen, because in the days to come, you will need the Most High Yah. Right. You'll need it. You'll find out. We'll find out. We're not as strong as we think we are until the Almighty strengthens us.
Hallelujah.
And strength. And then you'll say, well, I never thought Because just like people say, well, I never thought I'd see Corona. Well, you never thought you'll say, I never thought I'd get through this.
Hallelujah.
Except the Almighty got me through this.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Because I never thought I wouldn't be shaken. Because like I said, y'all been here with me since this has started. And I'm not taught again. I'm not taught fear. I'm not taught out of desperation. I'm not taught shaking. I'm taught for when things get better.
Hallelujah.
And they're relieved.
Yes,
And
sir.
what we can and how better we can be in serving the Almighty. But I've only been able to teach because He's been my strength. He's taken me through those things that when I was going through them, my personal storms, I had to say, well, wait a minute. I believe in the word. I'm that servant of Yah. He said, I know you are. But right now I need to do something to you to forge you for the time that you don't know that's to come.
Hallelujah.
And He needs to do that. And I'm a staunch proponent because I've been there to some degree. And I know what it is that He has to do that somebody reading a book can't get you to see. Somebody telling you can't get you to see.
Yes, sir.
You have to live part of this
Yes,
in order
sir.
for you to get the most out of this.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
So you have to go through some things. Go ahead.
Amos 5, verse 9. That strengthen the spoiled against the strong, so that the spoiled shall come against the fortress.
Against the fortress. Go ahead.
They hate him that rebuke in the gates,
And
they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
And accept this, that there is no fanfare. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Go ahead.
For as much, therefore, as your treading is upon the poor, and ye take from him of wheat, yea, houses of hew stone, but ye shall dwell in them.
Not dwell in them.
But ye shall not dwell in them. Ye have planted pleasant vineyards, but ye shall not drink wine of them.
Mm-hmm.
For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just, they take a bribe, and they turn aside the poor in the gate from their rights.
Yes.
Therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time.
There we go again. Them that know, they not gonna say. They saying because they don't know. But the prudent shall keep silent. And then the Almighty leave us with a set of instructions. Verse 14.
Seek Elohim.
Seek good.
Seek good, not evil, that ye may live. And so Yahweh, the Elohim of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken.
Yeah, brother asked me a question the other week. What should Israel be doing? This is what they should be doing.
Hallelujah.
Seeking good. Because it's here. All the good is here. Seek good. And not evil. But Israel, you mean to tell me that that's happening? This is another benchmark. No, this ain't even stopped us yet. Because like I said, in the 28-day span, they've had more murders.
Yes.
28-day span since this has been going on than they've had in 2 years. In 28 days, they responded to more murders. So this haven't even stopped Israel. This haven't even turned them around. And not only here, this is just our prospective city. But I can guarantee you I can still go to Atlanta and hear the same thing. I can go to Philadelphia and hear the same thing. I can go to California and hear the same thing. And not only here, I can go all around the world where Israel is at and hear the exact same thing. This haven't stopped us.
No, sir.
Like we said earlier, China getting ready to rebound. And they getting ready to rebound and they getting ready to get right back into foolishness.
Yes.
For a lot of them. Once the noose is loosened a little bit, they're going to waters. But this is the time the Almighty is showing you. This is the time to seek what's good. Huh? If you haven't been, understand now that it is. That's why I said I'm using it for what it is. Like I said, when I'm with my family now, when I'm with my sister, you know, now that word is getting a little more acceptable.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
what you say that thing is with? Okay. Oh, a few months ago when don't listen to all that, mom. He's saying you can't, you better do what they tell you. But now, well, I'm going to hell. Well, pick me up some of that too. And you go, okay, all right, okay. Yeah, and I get a chance, I don't rub it in like for see, but I get a chance every chance. Oh, little brother ain't crazy as everybody thought, huh? Yeah, a few months ago he was just saying some wild, obnoxious stuff. He always right, he crazy. Little brother ain't crazy now, is he? And she just, yeah, right. All right? Because now the Almighty done dealt a couple of blows. People, the eyes are starting to open. Right. But seek good and not what?
Evil.
That you may
live.
And so Yahweh,
the Elohim,
shall what?
Be with you.
Be with you. Now let it be known that he with you.
As he has spoken.
As you spoken to people. Hey, Yah's with me. This is why I don't do that. This is why I do that. Because Yah's with me. Huh?
Hallelujah.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hate the evil.
You want to know what to do? Even if you've been seeking good and not evil, ramp it up. Hate evil even more. Start to get a real evil in your mouth where you don't even want to see it on TV. You go, turn that mess off. Yeah. You hear it, get away from me. You hate evil.
And love the good.
And learn to love the good.
And establish judgment.
Oh, and here's the
in
thing.
The gate.
Here's the thing. Because Israel don't, even Israel, they know they don't want to hear this.
Yes, sir.
It's what we talked about earlier. Establish what?
Judgment.
Judgment.
In the gate.
That means somebody wrong, somebody right. And when somebody wrong, somebody right, called what? Institution.
Yes, sir.
There's a price to be paid. If somebody got to admit, I'm wrong, I'm right. So the judgment can go forth and be executed. About land of violence, nothing like, but some judgment. Huh?
Yes, sir.
When you with your children, somebody got, hey, who wrote this? I didn't. I did. So here goes some judgment. But that's to make what? That's to make way to what? Right. Everybody else.
Yes, sir.
Don't be around breaking stuff.
Right.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
If you got to let it fall on that one, huh? For everybody else. Like I said, we don't want to harp on it and let it be. But we do have to bring it back into play that we can go forward.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
And that's what we run from judgment. We talk about loving Yah. Talking about one thing that Yah, the ones closest to him, they were about with Yah, and that's judgment.
Hallelujah.
That's judgment. The difference between David and Saul was the fact that David loved Yah's judgment. Ain't that he loved Yah, because Saul could say, I love Yah, and I believe him. But David was able to accept Yah. Saul was not. When judgment came down on Saul, Saul started making every excuse as to why it was not his fault.
Yes, sir.
So he slipped and slipped and slipped and regressed like that. When the Almighty came down on David, David said, I accept it.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do. I was wrong. I accept it.
Yes, sir.
And allowed the Almighty to have mercy on him and to be able to go forward in life.
Hallelujah.
Not that the Almighty forgot everything, because he told him, I ain't forget nothing. You're going to live with this.
That's right.
But my mercy, because you can accept it, my mercy can now go forward. And you can learn from this. And you better than you was today. You can be. So we have to learn to accept Yah's judgment. This judgment. Hate evil, love the good, establish the what?
Gates. And it may be that Yahweh of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of yourself.
For that might be that he might be gracious to the remnant of Joseph.
Or Yahweh, Elohim of hosts, Yahweh saith thus, wailing shall be in all streets.
Wailing should be where?
In all streets.
Where?
In the streets.
And where?
In all streets.
All streets.
And they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas. And they shall call the husbandman to mourning, and such as are skilled for lamentation to wailing. And in all vineyards shall be wailing.
Mm-hmm.
For I will pass through thee, saith Yahweh.
For I will pass through who?
Pass through thee.
For I will pass through who?
Israel.
See, because we got to teach and put more emphasis on it when we talk about.
Hallelujah.
When we talk about there, Yahweh, yeah, we won't talk about how you're going to destroy the heathen. But what about how you talk about how you're going to walk through us?
Yes, sir.
If you're looking forward to the day of Yahweh. Are we ready to deal with that?
No.
Huh?
No.
Because that means many of people that you love might be some of the ones that fall right in front of your eyes if you're not one of them.
Yes, sir.
Like Noah.
That's right.
There's a reason why scriptures testify that he got on the boat and after he got off, he had to drink.
That's right. And he stayed.
That wouldn't have, because it wouldn't have bothered him. And what's that? It wouldn't have bothered him if people so close to him, complete strangers, okay, oh, well, all right. But he saw people very close to him, very near to him.
Yes, sir.
People that he grew up with, people he was infused with, and he saw all of that. The cries of them. The tears. Babies. Huh? He saw this.
Yes, sir.
He decided to pass through and separate for himself who was worthy and who wasn't. And it was only he, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, and a bunch of animals.
Have mercy. That was 8.
Definitely he got off the bus or off the boat and got drunk.
Yeah.
Now the Creator is saying again, selling in what? All streets.
And all the highways, all the vineyards.
So I don't care if you uptown to downtown.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to get away from this. I don't care if you're in the south or in the north or in the west and the east. You're not going to get away from this.
Yes, sir.
When the Almighty will pass through us. Say the nation. This prophecy is for us. When he will pass through us. Then he says,
woe,
for woe
unto you
that
desire the day of Yahweh.
That desire the day of Yahweh.
To what end?
To what end?
Is it for you?
That you trying to rush it. That you want to see it come. Because when you're talking about the deliverance of Israel, first you got to go through the day of Yahweh. Where he walked you through Israel. And what is it? What profit is it to you that you rush this?
The day of Yahweh.
For the day of Yah
is darkness.
It's darkness.
Not light.
And there's no light in it. There's no letting up. There's not you can't fly from here. I get a plane ticket, I'll go there. It's there. As he said, if I go up to heaven, thou art there. Right. It'll be there. If I ascend to hell or Sheol, thou art there. It'll be there.
To the outermost part.
If I go to the outermost parts, it's there.
Yes, sir.
Woe to you. Whoa. Come on.
And if a man did flee from a lion,
Because the day of Yah is as if a man did flee from a lion
and a bear met him,
of a bear,
or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall,
or he went into the house and was tired, and he leaned upon the wall,
and a serpent bit him,
and the serpent bit.
shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light?
That's the day of Yah. That's the time of the Most High. And you want to rush this
No,
so you can get a
no.
fan. Come on now. It is even very what?
Very dark. No brightness in it.
Because if you won't show this and give the people the understanding of this, and you think the Almighty is that close, then you're not even doing your job good as an instructor.
Yes, sir. I hate.
Now why we show that? Because that's the prophet Amos.
Yes, sir.
Showing you the bleakness of Almighty's coming. And like I said, if you notice, present company included, then you're gonna have to be serious.
Yes, sir.
Be serious. And that means you cut a lot of ties with a lot of people. Because no man can say the reason men were introverts. They stayed to themselves. They lived solitary lives because they couldn't have a lot of people that they just dealt with because they were the Almighty.
Yes,
Or if
sir.
he speak like that in time past, and you know that in time past, then what does that say is one draws nearer to the Almighty and time to come?
We'll be separated.
You'll be separated from a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
That's what he means by the weak separated from the.
Hallelujah.
For the Almighty has spoken, and that was Amos. But he started with the beginning of prophets. Let's go see what he said. Go to the book of Deuteronomy.
Hallelujah.
But there's been many of people, however, they come to the conclusion that have forecasted the end of man and this dispensation. We still been here.
Still there. Ain't moved nowhere. Hey, 400
But the
times.
Almighty has given us a preview.
Yes, sir.
Look at what the Creator says. Let's look at a couple of benchmarks. First place I want you to go is Deuteronomy.
Yes, sir.
Until you go there.
Yes, sir.
Thirtieth chapter.
Deuteronomy chapter 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
First verse.
Hallelujah.
We're gonna go 6.
All right. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. It shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee,
Mm-hmm.
the blessing
Yes.
and the curse,
Yes.
which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh thy Elohim have driven thee.
Mm-hmm.
And shall return unto Yahweh thy Elohim, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. Thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh Elohim will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and return and gather thee from all the nations whether Yahweh thy Elohim have scattered thee.
Now let's stop. I hand you. Well, keep going. Keep going.
If any of thine be driven out of the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy Elohim gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And Yahweh thy Elohim will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh will search thy heart and the heart of thy seed to love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now let's go back to verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Credit through Moses, the credit said what? It shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass.
It's gonna happen, right?
Yes, sir.
That when what?
All these blessings
Mm-hmm.
which I set before thee, and thou shalt find
And you should call them to mind.
among all nations,
Among the what?
the other nations,
Huh?
whether Yahweh thy Elohim have driven thee.
That thing that must happen, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know why I get this feedback from like that when I turn. Let me see if this make any difference. Something to do with the mic. No, it's got something to do with the way I use those. But this is one thing that must happen, right? That the Almighty people must what? Call to mind among the nations. Huh? The blessings and the curses.
Yes, sir.
How that?
No.
Be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For select few, bro. But I don't think for everybody. Some people is recognizing and calling blessings and curses and finding, but I don't think us as a massive group of people, they really never mind to it.
You're right. Because even for us, see, even the numbers of us compared that know the Almighty, and that's why I said we think with the mind of what we see now. But many of our people trying to forget what's done happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're not calling it the mind. Most of our people trying to forget it. Slavery.
Yeah, don't talk about that.
Let's forget segregation.
Don't talk about that.
Let's forget this. They trying to forget, when you bring up the curse, they trying to forget the curse.
Yeah.
They're not trying to call it mind. When you bring, I ain't cursed. You might be cursed, but damn it, I ain't cursed.
Yep.
They ain't trying to bring it up. They're not trying to bring up, because they don't even know that they was this blessed people. They don't even know that they were the people of the Almighty that resided in Jerusalem. They're going to tell you that that's some other white man down there on Reading Road and in Road Line and on Ridge Avenue.
Yes, sir.
They won't even tell you that's them. So they can't call to mind the blessings. They can't call to mind when we were first and we were the highest and all nations answered to us. They can't remember when we had all the things that the blessings state that we had 15 verses of Deuteronomy. They can't state it because they don't even know that that's them.
Right.
And they try to run from the curses. But the Almighty said, his people, when they do what? First step, when they call to mind the blessing and the cursing among the nations, not just in America, but everywhere I have scattered them.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Because even in Africa, they not calling to mind the blessing and the curse.
Yes, sir.
Even in England, they're not calling the blessing and the cursing. In the Isles, they're not calling to mind the blessing and the cursing.
Yes,
so I know it haven't happened. Are we talking about segments and little pockets like us? Sure. But when we talking about the people, have this happen? It ain't happening. But this is one of the first criteria.
Yes, sir.
That they should call to mind and shall do what?
And thou shalt call to mind among all the nations,
Uh-huh.
in which Yahweh have driven thee, and shall return unto Yahweh thy Elohim,
to Yahweh Elohim,
and shall obey voice, according to all that I command thee this day,
you
and thy children,
and your children,
with all thy heart,
all your heart,
and with all thy soul.
all your soul. Have this happened among y'all people? That we know, yes. But can you tell me that everybody I know in here, everybody I know in California, everybody I know in the other congregation, everybody in Atlanta, everybody in Philadelphia that I know in Chicago, everybody that I know in New York, everybody that I know in California, you telling me that's the whole house of Israel?
Nope.
Then you're living in a bubble.
We still got houses of Israel that still
Sisters that we ain't met yet, serving the Almighty,
yes,
that
sir.
we don't know nothing about, that we ain't been brought.
Yes, sir.
These are still being formulated, still being carried on. But that's number two.
Yes,
then
sir.
look what the Almighty says. Because he said when that happened, those two things happened.
That then Yahweh the King in turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
That is then he will see and begin to turn our captivity.
And will return. And gather thee from all the nations.
And gather thee from all the nations.
From where they're scattered.
Huh? Put this here, he didn't mean this. Look at this next verse.
If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven.
Hello? What's that?
Space.
What's he talking about? Space. Because he's letting Moses foresee a time and a place where they will even try to drive you off the face of the planet.
Yes, sir. Go live on a space station in Mars.
Now, Brother Aaron, okay, you stop. Too much Star.
Total Recall.
You've been watching too much Star. But is there a reason why this man is drummed up and said we're going to be the head of a new military branch?
Yes, sir.
Calling it the what? Space. So now, like I said, see, line upon line, he wants to now, like the Almighty wants, he wants to be Lucifer. I want to ascend. I want to be.
Yes, sir.
And I'm setting myself up to do that.
So they can say,
you think he's going to do that in 4 months? And if I got to take some of you, you know what,
with me
and drop y'all off up here, I'm willing to do that too. A one-way trip.
I need somebody to be
that you ain't coming back from. That's what he formulated in his mind.
Yes, sir.
Creator wouldn't have put this here if it had no significance. Right? But every word of Yah is what?
Pure.
He's a shield.
Until they don't put their trust in.
And not.
Word.
Least he
proved
and you be found
a liar.
Why is this here? And then it's backed up in Isaiah to the law and to the testimony.
Hallelujah.
And if this gonna happen in 4 months, I don't need to stand up and teach no.
All right.
But the Creator says these things will happen. That's why he said, who have foretold them as I? Before they happen, I will let you know. So see, it won't be shocking to me. Not at my brother, but I hear this all the time. People, I never thought I'd live through nothing like this. Yeah. I just didn't know when it was coming. But the Almighty, he done warned us that we read his word that a day like this will happen.
Yes,
and there's some more days to come.
Yes,
and then you read his word, you're not, you just say, oh, now he's making good on his promise.
Yes,
but he said it was going to happen. That's why he said in Isaiah, fear surprised the hypocrite. Because he never took me at my word. But I told you these things were going to happen. I'll work in your days, though it was told unto you. You would not believe it. Huh? So today they start blasting off. He ain't going up there. That's what's wrong, man. They ain't never been there. Yes, they have. Or y'all wouldn't have said it was capable.
Yeah.
And they would try to do it. And not only that, they would do it. I will ascend unto the mountain. I will go. I will be like the Most High. There is only one dominion the Almighty really will keep him from being and achieving. Because say he's Yah. And that's the power over life and death. He don't have that yet. To create life, feel like the Almighty, and to take life. He don't have that yet. He's trying to get it. He's trying to get it. But the Almighty haven't given that to him yet. Yes, sir.
Just want to add to that, also, if he's able to measure the heavens.
And if he's able to measure the heavens,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Right.
yes, then shall the Almighty people be done away with.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm one of those who are, that may be according to scripture. I may think that opinion that may be being translated wrong because the Almighty said, and we all know that no one has ever reached the surface of the bottom of the ocean. So that's one thing. They haven't formulated the material to far. And when I read in the book of Job, so according to the book of Job and also Proverbs, the Almighty said that He created the earth split. So everything was made perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So when He made a perfect split from water and water, there's the same amount of water on bottom, same amount of water on top. Now, if you could never penetrate, now is that correct before I continue going?
Well, I can't say it is. All it says is he made a firmament between the waters, and one of the waters was stuck in heaven, and one of the waters is in the depths.
Right.
But it don't say that it's equal.
Well, the only reason why I said that it was equal is just because He did everything with wisdom, and I just assumed it to be perfect. So again, it's my train of thought.
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't find the material to get down that far, then how could you find the material to go up that high? And not only not necessarily go up that high, but if you were crushed under pressure going through that, how could you go up that far and then go outside? I'm just saying if they can do it,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not in our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say and think so, based on what we have right now. But these are all on what I'm learning in the scripture. I'm not closing my mind to say that it will never happen. It seems very, very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Yes, sir. And I respect that. Here's what I ask you. You got self, huh?
Radio wave.
That feed from what? A satellite in space
They shot it.
that they put up in space.
I heard, but
What you heard is true because that's the technology.
We in this era.
And that
called
same technology,
5G now.
that same technology using for years. See, don't get stagnated. That's the thing about them.
Yeah.
See, that's what trusting in the Almighty. You put nothing past the enemy.
All right.
And what you think he can't do, trusting in the Almighty, you see, that's exactly where he go. That's exactly trusting in the Almighty where you know he go. Now you can mount a defense. Because a lot of our people, that's what they say. Oh, they wouldn't do that. Only to come years later, that's exactly what they're doing. They wouldn't be putting no chemicals in the air to mess with the air. Only to see them trails that they've been seeing, that's exactly what they've been doing.
Rain.
That's exactly.
Heat the cloud.
He didn't, once he had the ability to come up with the airplane, he didn't stop there. He said, man, okay, we in the sky, further and higher. And he went and he built. But that's coming to you because they don't get stagnated. Just to make a point, I was watching a show the other day about the evolution of guns. And it showed how the gun went from the little, gun. It just showed the evolution to the gap. Every gun that wasn't good enough. When they made one that seemed like that was, and you be sitting there, I'm sitting there like, man, That's ripping things to shreds. That's fine. That ain't fine for him. We got to improve. Now you got another. It's ripping. Ain't good enough. We got to improve. He don't stop. That's what I said. That's what the Almighty is showing. That's why He's showing what a great day this is when you're dealing with the wicked. Because in your mind, you have a mind conscience because Elohim is seared in it. You limit. You don't have no limit. You don't have no limit. And so for David, at the time that Israel needed David, that's how David was formulated and trained by the Almighty. He was just a straight out killer. He came out of them hills, he was a straight out killer because he knew Goliath didn't have no limit. When this young man can't be thinking with a kind of like, oh, okay, I'll just stick him in the leg and he'll fall down and he'll get his mind right. And he'll be like, oh, stop it. Okay, we give. No. David Almighty forged him for that time to say, man, this man dead. Ain't no, I'm just gonna kill him. And everybody, this little boy gonna, even Goliath, you gonna, because the Almighty had gave him understanding and made him that way for that time. Now, after that time, he settled back in, even with his transfer, but he settled back in for a certain kind of, this ain't right. Doing this like this ain't right. But for that time, no. That's why I tell you, and I'm not saying, because I'm not saying myself Superman, but that's why I say, if it broke loose tonight, I wish I was dead. Just let me go home and just, just breathe my last breath. Because I don't want to live through what I know I'm going to see. Because it's going to be ugly. Because there is the mercy of the Almighty have this man held back because they want to let the dogs just loose. And these dogs, when they hunt, baby, it ain't no bringing them back. You up there talking about, oh, they went to, they just in and just, because they have stuff that I just
wanted to say that it says that the speaking lies.
Yes.
So that's their nature, that's their mentality. So that's what they're going for. You can't trust it.
You can't trust it.
Right.
Huh? And even the Almighty, He backs it. That's a true spirit, and it's all testimony backing each other up. He said, even when they dealing with you rightfully, like the ad of ass.
That's right.
Their wine is like the gall. It's like that they give you this. That's good. It's always got something to it, and it's to your demise.
That's right.
To your demise. You think He gave you $1,200 just because He thought you was good? Man, He's trying to put that back into His circulation so He can get back. That's for. It ain't just because He cared about you and He's so brokenhearted that you lost your job and you ain't working. Because at an instant, He'll drop a whole company and fire at an instant and don't care about working.
Not at all.
But He said, man, anything we can do to get this thing a little blood circulated, that's what we gonna do. But don't think that He is out of love.
Not at all.
Because He probably gonna come up with something back next tax season. You got to claim this $1,200 on you. You be sitting there. You ain't worked about half a year. So now when you go back to work, you ain't got nothing to offset that. So on your thing, and you owe us, as a matter of fact, $800. Now you like, what the? I'm just not worried. Yeah, but you gonna owe us. So don't get it twisted. I don't let you know. Y'all might have hit me to the game. And so having didn't put this here. Just know, like I said, trust in the word. Just know He didn't put this here for nothing. And a lot of the brothers, they don't believe that they've been out. But I trust the Almighty and I trust what He say. When He say that that's what He aspire to do, He will aspire to do.
Yes,
and don't think because He haven't been there, He ain't trying to get there. Yes, Jacques Cousteau, he had every ship he piloted was crushed. It didn't stop him from trying to make a better ship to get down.
Nope.
And his son. His son even still doing what the daddy was doing.
And then it got a little deeper.
They always trying. They trying to find out what Genesis means when it said the Garden of Eden. The tree of life. They still trying to find out what that means. And the point, that's why they're looking in.
That brings me to think about that movie Megalodon. When you run there, you talk about the key to that movie was from how deep in the deepest part of the Bermuda Triangle, but it was just a cold layer of air right there that was just to keep this megalodon from being able to come up and go into the regular surface of the water. It kept him down below, shooting down there, and had an accident. It produced an explosion that made it hot enough for that shark and several others to be able to escape from the deep.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
like, man,
Yes,
it
sir.
made me think about the natural barriers of y'all and things that's out here that we just don't know nothing
That you
about.
just don't know nothing about.
Hallelujah.
So, and then verse 3 says, for when they do those two steps, then Yahweh thy Elohim will what?
Captivity, compassion upon thee, will return and gather thee from all the nations where the Yahweh thy Elohim have scattered thee.
Now let's put the pieces. Part of that calling the blessing mind, part of that returning to him, what needs to happen for us to get there. Let me show you a few things.
Deuteronomy chapter 32.
And this is why they make the call of and the cursing the mind. This is what it means. Read Deuteronomy 32.
Verse 1. Hallelujah. Give ears, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of Yahweh. Ascribe ye greatness unto Elohim. He is the rock. His work is, his ways are judgment. Elohim of truth and without iniquity. Just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves. The spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse generation.
Yes, it says the corruption is not his. It is the defect of his children, of a perverse and crooked generation. Go ahead.
Do ye thus requite Yahweh, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that have brought thee? Has he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thy elders, and they will tell thee.
This is calling the mind. This is what he means by calling the mind the blessing and the cursing. Look at this.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Because I'm inspired to try to get this place, and they're going to start doing some things. I'm going to try and get this place right. Because when it's lax, and they will come back, and then to come, and all congregations, because like I said, I don't care how many it is, as long as we all just teaching y'all what is true. But I see the seats in the days to come, because Because the Almighty will be doing great things. Not to the end, take up his people.
Hallelujah.
And we got to be ready to receive them as they come. Because that's what this is for. Not to our end. This is for us to begin of the harvest. As this first happened, young brother on the job, he said, just who I've been looking for. I came in the job, what you looking for? I said, what's up, baby? He said, you gonna tell me? I've been asking everybody what's really going on. I tried to brush him off. I told you, I tried to brush him off. He said, no, that ain't good enough. I ain't letting you go until you tell me what's happening. See, this is a little bit of the Almighty just setting the stage.
Yes, sir.
Like all the crazy comments, foolish comments, you from left field comments, what you doing don't make no sense. All that begins with hope.
Yes, sir.
As the chips and chips away at his people. All that's beginning to come to a hope. And evangelist, this your time. This your time. Not overbearing, still not hurting people, but to just feed them with the word of the Almighty. To show them this great truth. To get them to see the blessing and who they are in the sight of the Almighty. And understand the cursing, why they are where they are today.
Right.
So that we all can call this to mind. That, as he said, for then I hear it in the how I want to hear it. I can't tell you them numbers, but it's never about it. The Almighty never said a number when he said to Abraham, but he came to Abraham and he said, I have heard the cry.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard enough and what I need to see. It was 100, 150, 200. He just said what I need to see. Will I go down altogether if they have done after what they have done in Sodom and Gomorrah? And I will know it. So when you see what he needs to see, and I don't want to be so bold and brash and to lay something on him, that ain't on me.
All right.
Because like I said, there it goes. Oh, shame. Huh? But you have nobody to be mad at but yourself. But you'll try to find somebody else to be mad at. But the Creator said what?
Verse 9.
This is called a blessing of mine. For when the Most High did what? Divided the nations their inheritance. When he created the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Did you think that you, as the sons and daughters of Yahweh, was in the mind of the Most High, that your father Adam was living? Because he set the bounds of all nations as they started migrating and moving out. He set the bounds of them according to the children of Israel, who would not be in existence for many millennium to come.
Yes.
But he was there in time of Adam, thinking of you and our forebears.
Hallelujah.
If that ain't a blessing.
Oh my God.
And that's why he said echoed all the way down. And I gave you the glory
Of all
things. Nobody else inherited this. I know reading some other people was there, but this was not their inheritance.
Right.
This is your inheritance.
Yes, sir.
Forever.
Hallelujah.
And I had it set forth even in the time of Adam. That's a blessing. Go ahead.
Hallelujah.
And you want to be
Oh no.
He didn't say he set no bounds according to the Christians,
All right.
or a Muslim,
All right.
or an Egyptologist.
No.
He said he said he did so for Israel.
Hallelujah. For Yahweh's portion is his people.
Always have been, still is, forever will be.
Yaakov is the lots of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirs up her nest, flourished over her young, broad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
You ever seen that? Ever seen that? Go to the zoo if you haven't. Ain't nothing like seeing that eagle when she come down and she perch. And she takes hard wings this long. And she gathered them little chicks and she just cover them up and scoot them on and gather them into her. And she look a whole while, she looking around to see if there's anything or anybody that's trying to get out. Nothing like seeing it. That's what this is a reflection to, because we was an agrarian people and we were natural people, so we use things around that. He spread himself upon us and gathered us in and gathers us in, and he's looking around to see if there's anything that ever harm so that he can eradicate it. That's the love of us.
That reminds me of the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That same.
Yes, sir. That same. Yes.
Oh God. Verse 12. So Yahweh alone feed him, and there was no strange deities with him.
And just like that, mother, you ain't gonna see two eagles in the same nest. She there by herself. So it ain't her and somebody else. Who is Yah? There's nobody with him, just him. Go ahead.
He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep.
You drunk milk
of lamb.
You drunk milk from sheep's.
With the fat of lamb and rams of the breed of Bashan.
And not their fat, but the best of their meat. That's right. That would fatten you. Rich, yes. And you had the fat, you had the increase of them. And best breed. One no little chopped beef. These were the best breed. The best money could buy. That's what you enjoy. Like you see your enemy today go and enjoy the best that money can buy. That's how you was. You were not no imitation knockoff. You had the best that money could purchase. Everything was fine.
And goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and thou didst drink the pure of grape.
Go ahead.
But Yeshurun waxed fat.
And you even had a certain name. Riding this high, you even had a certain moniker. It wasn't a name, it's a moniker. Yeshurun, an upright one.
Oh, yeah.
Enriched. That's what this was, a moniker for the nation of Israel. He said, but yet you wax fat and kicked.
Thou art waxing fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Elohim, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
Now we had called in mind all the blessings. That's what this is calling in mind. Now we're about to call in mind them curses. Come on.
They provoked him to jealousy with strange idols,
Mm-hmm.
the nations, strange idols, with abominations provoke they him to anger. They sacrifice unto devils, not to Elohim.
Still doing it.
To deities whom they knew not, to new deities that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not.
Still doing it.
Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful.
We're still.
It has been Elohim that formed thee.
Mm-hmm.
And when Yahweh saw it,
Mm-hmm.
he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith.
When I watch movies like Roots, when I watch movies like 12 Years a Slave, when I watch all movies of that sort, yeah, sure, I get real mad. I get real angry to see the whip being lashed on the back of our forefathers' backs, to read that, to revisit that. I get very upset. I get highly upset. But you know who I get very highly upset with? With us. With us.
Yes, sir.
Because bit that got us in this predicament. There's a little anger to be reserved for them, but a whole lot of anger. If you really want to get upset when you come out the movie theater, if you really want to be upset at somebody, you should really be upset at yourself. And accept this and accept this and be upset at your people and the deplorable condition that we still to this day maintain and have even gotten worse in.
Yes, sir.
Because that's what put us with these folks to allow them to do what they have done.
Right.
By provoking the whole of Israel. Turning back on him. And as a result, he said, what? A fire is what? Or read that 21. Go back and start there.
Hallelujah.
Because there are children in whom have no faith. And we run around talking about we are faith people. Faithless, but not faithful. It says as a result, they have moved me to what?
Jealousy, which is not Elohim.
They have
provoked me to anger.
With what?
With their vanities. And will move them to jealousy. Those are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
And then people. And now this don't mean that they children of sheep and goats and nothing. They were not united. They have never been a people. They never will be a people. They found their own people.
Yes, sir.
And this country, you can't learn unity in this country. The country is built on divisiveness. It was founded on divisiveness. It survives on divisiveness.
Yes.
It will end divisiveness.
Yes, sir.
That's why one of the largest things that costs more life than most any other thing in the history has been the Civil War.
Right.
And the Almighty had prophesied that you have another civil war coming in this country.
And it's coming.
A great one. See, the road that you travel down, you got, huh? When I come down 75, go down Georgia, that same road I go back up. Well, the road you came down, that's the same road you're going to go back up.
Yes, sir.
They got you to establish this country are some of the very same as this country fall down. Some of history.
Great job.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. For fire is kindled in my anger unto the lowest hell. and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischief upon them. I will spin arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat and with bitter passion. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, poison of serpents of the dust.
And let me interject this, because y'all might mean this. This is all around the world. The effects of this is, they said, a people that's not a people. Because even at the end of the Korean War, that's when you begin to get the influence of South Korea. But there's really nothing that separates North South Korea but a bunch of sawhorses, a little light phone booth, and a couple of soldiers. And that's the DMZ zone, demarcation zone. Just a little phone booth. I was shocked when I watched that on 60 Minutes one year. A little phone booth with one of them little arms that go up.
Yeah.
Couple of sawhorses and some soldiers there to man it with guns.
Yeah.
And this is the demarcation zone. And in the South, you step foot, you're in the South. You step foot, you're in the North.
Yeah.
You got uncles and cousins able to look right over at each other, and they own one in the North, one in the South, and they uncles, cousins, nephews, same family, and can't even interact, except for one time a year when they lift it up and they let them interact. I said, ain't this nothing? Well, who brought the divisiveness over there? Western
civilization.
Western civilization. Over there. Before then, there was one Korea.
Yep. And now
a lot of people don't understand. That's why a lot of people don't understand the fervor of Putin. I'm not no fan of his, and I'm not telling you he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But when he say, man, look, all this Slovenia,
right.
There is only Rush, Kiev.
That's it.
Other Russia. And to me, all of this is Russia. It was, and for me, it still is. And one day, if I got anything to say about it, it will be.
Yes, sir.
When I get rid of Western influence.
Good job.
They about divisiveness.
Yeah. And
they about divisiveness.
Money.
Divisiveness. They don't know no other way. Yes, sir.
One thing about South Korea from North Korea, South Korea military
right
stationed here.
Right.
North Korea was like,
and
no.
North Korea went the communist way.
That's
yes.
Right. Exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And see, they could never get into what's called to pull that because they have as they did. So they could never get into China to pull that.
Mm-hmm.
You see. And they couldn't get in Japan, so when they couldn't get in Japan, they decided just to drop the bomb. We can't split them up. We just boom. But they never wanted to get into an all-out tussle with bigger nations like a Russia. But they tried to be divisive as much as they can be, and because that's what they know.
And that's their biggest spirit to this day.
And that's why the Almighty said, "I will move you with a people that's not." You trying to learn unity there?
Oh,
it's done. You never will. You never will. But keep going.
Hallelujah. Verse 25. The sword without, within.
I mean, you'll be attacked from your enemies outside of you, and you'll be yourself.
Shall destroy both the young man and the virgin. The also with the man of gray hair.
You can't tell that ain't happening?
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we gunning down, the young men gunning each other down, women coming up missing, our young women coming up missing, don't know what happened to them. They ain't getting snatched by us, they coming up missing off the block. Where's she at? Gone. Yeah. Huh? And it's a
yes, sir.
out there called sex trafficking.
Yes, sir.
Abroad.
Snatching
other countries.
Street.
Snatching them off the street. I had to teach this. If I say I care, see, I don't really say teach this. This show you I care. So
Yes,
you can get
sir.
this information. You can go home and tell your daughters, maybe I got to put a tighter grip. I know we want to give them a little freedom, but maybe I got to put a tighter grip on her. Because it ain't nothing for young girls to get a report. Young girls didn't make it home from school.
That's right.
Well, what was she with? We don't know. Poof. And ain't don't nobody just vanish out the place. Don't. This is happening. Because the Almighty prophesied the terror and terror within. You're killing yourself and people are preying on you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's for everybody.
It's
It's both. They take little boys because they selling. It's just all of what the Almighty said we will be exposed to.
They stealing our organs like crazy.
Like I said, there was a young girl. They went in her home in Mount Healthy, took her out her home. In her home. Snatched her out of her home. That's the last place she was seen.
Mercy.
Suckling babies. The little babies, they ain't safe.
Nope. Not at all.
They ain't safe.
They do more damn.
We kill little babies.
They do more.
Oh man. Pops. Ain't no honor for Pops no more.
None.
It was honor for Pops.
Yes, sir.
We listen to Pops. Hey, better listen to Pops. Huh? And Pops might rat you upside. Ain't no honor for Pops.
None. Yes, sir.
Come on, brother.
I said, I will scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Had it not been for Yah, we would soon be done, left up to our own behavior. We soon been checked out of here.
Yes, sir.
We'd be an extinct
A
people.
long time ago.
And more of it of our own hand than anybody else. They really could just leave us alone like they do. By the time they put us, that's why they call it projects. Put us around each other because they know how we are. And lost our way. No honor, not faithful.
That's right.
Like a wild horse, like the Creator said, that can't be tamed. We just do anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Young kids now think they more in charge than older people.
Yes, sir.
Think they know something, and they ain't even begin to live. But they know something. Gonna tell you something. If you don't get out of here,
all right.
I wish you would. I look at some of them in my neighborhood. Some of them I know, but I look at some I ain't going there. But I just it's a travesty. It's a travesty. All I can say is, Yah help us.
Yes, sir.
Because if it's not for Yah, we're terrible.
Yes, sir.
We are terrible.
Yes, sir.
And I've had my part in it too, so I ain't just gonna say stole everything I want. I've had my part in it too. But you change. Oh, Israel, you asking what should be done? You gotta.
Yes, sir.
For the great and dreadful day of Yah come.
You be considered.
Because it don't matter we all gathered together and we ain't changed. We just all done gathered together so he can get one shot at one time with everybody.
Wow.
I ain't got to search for all y'all now. Good. Y'all all in one place. Boom. Let me drop the ceiling in on all of them. That's all. Just made it simple for them. But if we haven't changed, and we need to read this to know what to do. He said, I will what?
Scatter the corner.
Yes.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Word.
It's not that I feared the wrath of the enemy.
And that don't mean that like it's written. Because he don't fear nobody.
Hallelujah.
In other words, were it not that he considered that the wrath of the enemy, they would get out of control.
Least their adversaries.
And that's why he said, least the adversary would say what?
Behave themselves strangely. At least they should say, our hand is high. And Yahweh have not done all this.
Don't give them the credit. They'll say how they destroyed the people.
sir.
How they got rid of the Holy Seed.
Yes, sir.
How they did everything. That's what they would say. And the Almighty knew that. So he said, I won't let them have that. I'll endure you. Because as much as they try to get rid of you, your little head's always going to pop up.
Like roaches,
You've been through hell, but you've never been totally forsaken.
Yes, sir.
And they wondered for years. Now we done gave everything to everybody else and practically got rid of them. We done gave a little sample to the Native Americans, and you practically can't find a Native American. Except if you go to the 5 territories, or you go to the casino. But we keep shooting everything at these Negroes, and they keep on popping up. They stronger. We don't know what's happening. What we gotta do to them? Well, it's because the Almighty choose to endure us. That's what. Because the day He stopped choosing, or would choose to stop enduring us, we gone. We out of here. It's over. Huh?
That's right.
Then the Creator said, what? Oh, that we were what? For He wished
that we were wise.
He wished we were wise.
That understood this.
We wish we could understand this.
That they would consider they latter in.
He wished we would consider more than what's in front of us.
How should one chase 1,000?
Does any of them ever sit down and think how they really got in slavery? Like I said, I've never seen the rat run the homeowner out of his house. If I don't call Orkin, if I don't get Pest Be Gone, if I don't get every trap that they got on the market, if I don't get my gun, sit there and wait on you, or my machete, somehow, some way, I'm gonna make sure I don't lose this house to no little rats. Right. But the rats came in to the house and chased the homeowners off on their own. No, they didn't do it on their own.
No.
And that's what the Almighty. When you talk about how the white man came with more ships and changed on his own, when he barely was coming into any semblance of knowing anything himself. He didn't even know you was there. He was scared to venture that far off. He was stuck in Europe in his own little world. He was in his own little world. It was over with. We'll fall off favor. It wasn't until you sailed over to him and you came to him, havoc in Europe, and healers from the east, Moors from the east. And like I said, Moor just means black, because there's Islamic Moors, there was Christian Moors, like Moors. But Moors sailed over into Europe and healed him. And he said, well, you got anything else? Moors taught him English or how to speak. Really, Moors did that.
Yes, sir.
Moors taught him mathematics. Gave him a system of commerce and building. And heating. Because they was in little thing catching cold and dying from pneumonia. This is their history. Right. Go to school. Don't talk about I ain't going to learn their history.
Hallelujah.
So one day you're gonna want to regurgitate it.
But that's what they do to you.
I ain't making this up. This is what you taught me. Huh?
That's right.
It's the truth. That is the truth. And now, and then the Portuguese and the Spanish, they became a faction in it because they had money, and they started financing kidnapping in the kidnapping industry, and they went into Africa. The European didn't go into Africa.
Nope.
He was scared of going to Africa. He called Africa the dark place. So they sailed around on the Cape and the Horn on the coast, and they started this of kidnapping and selling off and selling them to other nations. And they did it first in Britain, and Britain had long since it before it even got started in the Americas.
Yeah.
But then they came over from Britain, remembered what was going on in Britain, and they said, that's the people we need to go after. We can't work this land. The natives can't work this land. We're industrious people, and it wasn't just about working land. We remember an industrious people came into Europe and saved Europe. Them the people we need in our midst to help us build up. They came and got you and brought you here, up their land.
Yes, sir.
Because they knew who you were. Like I said, them is of loincloths, that's not what they put you in. That's what they stripped you. That's what they did and made it bald. They found a regal people when they found you. And everything they did was to take your identity from you.
Yes, sir.
They found the sisters with natural hair and long flowing locks that come down. They put you in chains and shaved your head and threw lime on you to desecrate you and put you in a state. And then the pictures they want to show you. But they don't want to show you the pictures that go before that. But Yahweh has.
Hallelujah.
Keep going.
Hallelujah. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their has shut them up?
Yahweh gave us into their hand.
For their rock is not as our rock.
The things they believe in, the ideology, the theologies, that's not our theology. Christianity is not our theology.
Even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps.
Like they said, healthcare in this country haven't just become an issue. The disparity that we experiencing, while more blacks are dying now at this time with this breakout because they can't even get testing, they can't even get adequate health care. It didn't just become an issue since Corona broke out last month. It's been here. It didn't happen just because Donald Trump took office.
Nope.
It was disparity when Obama was president. Nobody did nothing about it. It was there when Bush was president, and nobody did nothing about it. It was there when was president, and nobody did nothing about it. It was there when Clinton was president, and nobody did nothing about it. It's been here, and nobody has done nothing about it. Everything we facing that has been here, and nobody has done nothing about it because they weren't meant to do anything about it.
Is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among?
But if you don't know the word of the Almighty, this is laid up with Him. You won't understand what's going on in the world. This is laid up with Him. It's in His treasury. And if you're not with Him, He won't let you see this. But to Him, go ahead.
To me belongeth vengeance.
Yes.
And recompense.
Yes.
Their foot lie in due time.
You're talking about the enemy.
For the day of their calamity is at hand.
Mm-hmm.
The things that shall come upon them.
Yeah, see, if you haven't read the word of the Almighty, you wouldn't think nothing like coronavirus and this pestilence can strike this land. But if you read the word of the Almighty, you see that this is going to strike this land, and like there's more things to come. There's many more things to come to strike this land. And that's why He said, to me belongs. You haven't seen me take hold of vengeance yet on this land. And I got, but guess what? In the course of me having some vengeance for them, the only way I know that my people gonna get right too is that I reserve some for them.
Yes, sir.
And that's why He said, for Yahweh, He's spoken about the heathen and His day of vengeance for them. But look what He says in the next verse.
For Yahweh shall judge His people.
For He shall also judge His people.
And repeat Himself for His servants.
And bethink Himself for His servants.
If that their power is gone.
What He gonna be looking for?
And that there is none shut up or left.
When He seated all their power. Everything. Every single shred. Whatever power they thought they had. I purged it all out of. Every little bit. That's why it's a day of darkness and no light. It's as if a man ran from a lion and ran into the bear. He hit by the poisonous asp. He can get no relief in the day that Yahweh comes. Walk you through Israel and the world. There is nothing. You can't holler about voting. You can't holler about marching. You can't holler about your guns. I'm not anti-gun. I have a couple. None of your weapons will save you out of this. There is nothing that you will know that can help you except the Almighty. And this is what he told his prophet Moses, our plight from start to finish. And he said, then, even then, when we go through it, he will talk to us and he will say to us, where are your deities? Your religion gone. You don't even have no power in that. For a lot of that's what got us through, even though it's the wrong thing. Religion what got us through. That's what got grandmas through. That's what got us through the depression. You will question. Those of you that are there, you will question whether there is a God. Not what his name is or none of that, but whether there just simply is one. That's how down I will take you. And I'll ask you, where are your gods? And your deities, the rocks, and the ones that you did feed with the fat of sacrifices and drink the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up and help you. Be your protection. See, it ain't that he just gonna break us down and then speedily come to our aid. He's gonna let us stew in it for a minute.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Huh? Because sometimes just to break you down and then to quickly relieve you, you don't learn. You down and you have to a minute.
Yes, sir.
And you have to ask that I was looking for. So it ain't gonna happen, then it's quick and then we gone. No, You pine away in this. You'll stew in this until you understand and until you say that what? See that I, even I am he, and there is none with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword, my hand shall take hold on judgment. There is judgment. And I will bring vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them. That's anybody that hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood. My sword shall devour much flesh, and that with the blood of the slain of the captives from the beginning to me. This is what he showed Moses. And Moses was the beginning of prophets. Now, what did he show the last day prophet? The last day prophet was no other than Daniel. What did he show him? Did he show him anything that's similar to what, and anything that's similar to what he told Moses? Because would be in this fight till he saw that all their power was what? Gone. And that there was none what? Left. Or shut up. See what he told the end day prophet. Because the Creator says, I am Yah. I change not. Therefore your sons of Jacob are not consumed. Go to the book of Daniel, your 5th chapter.
Hallelujah. Daniel. Verse 1.
Verse 12. Start there, please.
Daniel chapter 5,
Actually, do me a favor, start at 9.
verse 9. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his
That's y'all chapter 7 I want you to go to.
chapter 7, not
Yes.
5.
Chapter 7. King
Hallelujah.
James. It's my chapter 5, but it's your chapter 7. I'm sorry.
Hallelujah. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garments white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The thousands stood. The judgment was set.
Judgment was set.
And books were opened.
So this is the great day of judgment. Go ahead.
I beheld then which the horn spake. I beheld the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame.
And until the time of this, seeing this thousands and thousands and 10,000 times 10,000 come, Daniel beheld and saw the voice and heard the voice of the great words of this beast who was speaking. But when this 9th and 10th verse starts to happen, this is the time that that beast is destroyed and slain, resurrected again. And when he's destroyed and slain, starting in verse 12, a new thing is done. And what's done? A new kingdom ushers in. And what kingdom ushers in? Verse 12, yes.
As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
See, the meaning of that is every beast you're going to read of the 4 beasts that Daniel was allowed had dominion taken, but they all were absorbed into the next kingdom. See, the Babylonian kingdom had its dominion taken, but it was bits and pieces of its culture was absorbed in the Persians.
That's right. Right.
The Medo-Persian Empire had its kingdom taken away by Alexander. But Alexander, in his conquest, held fast to some of the cultures where he conquered people. So Medo-Persian influence even to some of his demise, because some of him, because he held fast and left in tradition some of the ways of the Medo-Persian. Matter of fact, once he left Greece, the ways of the people he would come in and conquest in the East better than the ways that he found and knew in Greece. So when he went into Egypt, he was enamored with Egyptian culture. And he proclaimed a city called Alexandria in Egypt. And he proclaimed himself Pharaoh. And in Egypt, he lived as the Egyptians lived because he liked the culture. When he went to Greece, and he went to Persia, he went to Persia and he proclaimed himself satrap because he liked the Persian culture. He infused them into the Greek culture. He practiced Hellenism and he spread it, but he infused them in. And it's no different when the Greeks lost their dominion. They got infused into Roman culture. That's why the same pantheon of gods just changed names. The worship of a sun god. All that worship remained the same. It's just a little change in the name. But each one got infused into the other, and that's why the Almighty said they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for and time. And that's why even now you can see the infusion, because you see in all architecture, especially when you go to the capital like you see,
Sir.
which is of Egyptian influence. You see the columns,
Yes, sir.
which is of ancient Roman influence. Everything that you see in the architecture, you can point it out and see that it comes from some other ancient kingdom that ruled upon the face of this earth. When you read in the book of Esther, what main colors it talk about? That was in the marble.
Red,
scarlet,
that's
scarlet, white,
blue,
blue,
yep, purple. Yes, sir.
What's the color of the flag?
Red, white,
Hello?
blue.
Hello? So that's what that means. Keep going.
Hallelujah. Verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came out of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, languages should serve him. His dominion, everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
And that's why the New Testament tries to pick up and call the Christ of the New Testament Son of Man.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why they come, that's where they got that from, to call him Son of Man. Because all they see here, one like the Son of Man. But when you read the word of the Almighty will tell you who that Son of Man is. He's just not giving a name here in Daniel. But he know who that Son of Man is because he is. But here in the vision, Daniel just see one like the Son of Man because it's a vision. So he see one like the Son of Man, not the Son of God, the Son of Man, coming to inherit the kingdom. And this kingdom is a kingdom when he inherits it that shall never pass away and never be destroyed.
I, Daniel, was grieved in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made the interpretations of the things. The great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
When righteousness finally come back, it's going to reign forever. And the people going to be all right. And everything left here on planet Earth is going to be set right forever.
Then I would know the truth of beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
And when you study history, what did Rome conquer the world with? Iron and brass. Iron and brass. Go ahead.
Of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom, and of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them.
He did what?
He made war with the saints.
And did what? He won. He was winning. And he won all the way until what?
The Ancient of Days came.
He won all the way until the Ancient of Days came.
And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High.
And judgment was turned to the saints of the Most High.
And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And he should do what?
Wear out the Most High.
Again, and what's that akin to? Stripping their what? If you wear somebody up, you taking what?
Taking their dignity.
You're taking their power.
Taking their power away from them. Breaking
So
them
in
down.
different words, but Daniel is the same thing that so many hundreds of years ago. Tearing away the stripping of power, the degradation of the holy seed. He was seeing this, and he's seeing that under this fourth beast, this was their entire commission, that this happened in their reign and in their rule. A total stripping, a total depletion of the Most High people in the reign of this fourth beast. He would think to wear out the saints of the Most High.
And think, change time.
By changing times.
And law.
And appointed time. Says, Moedim, the appointed times. And laws. And they should, and then look at this. And how long would he be able to do this?
Time and
times
and the dividing of time.
And the dividing of times.
But the judgment shall sit.
Yes.
And they shall take away his dominion to consume and to devour it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the king of the whole shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And now I got to show you one thing. A time, times, and dividing the times, because he's going to repeat this in Daniel 12. Go to Daniel 12.
Hallelujah. Chapter 12.
That's why I said line upon line. Go to Daniel 12. Once you see the beginning, prophet saw it, and y'all might never change. Different wording, but he showed the same faith of his people to the end prophet. And that's Daniel. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Verse 1.
Hallelujah. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great priest which standeth for the children of the people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
A time of trouble that the world has never seen. Never seen. Never experienced. Great calamity. But they ain't seen this calamity. At that time, shall your people be what? Delivered. Everyone that's found written in the book. And in conjunction to that,
them that sleep in the of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame. And
one part happens, then you resurrection. Because yes, even before Christ, the scripture about resurrection. Go ahead.
And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
But this is what you saw, little sister, when you said earlier. This is what you saw. But what?
But thou, O Daniel,
But you, Daniel,
shut up
shut up the words
and book,
and seal this book.
even to the time of the
The
end.
book is sealed to the time of the end. Again, this is where the Christianity tries to borrow on who should release the 7 seals. Who can release crack the seal of the book? And then supposedly you see Christ coming and he able to take the seals off of the book. But the book's supposed to be shut till the time of the end.
And many shall run to and fro.
But the book is gonna be sealed, and in the time that it's sealed, many gonna run to and fro, and knowledge has to be increased.
Then I, Daniel, look,
Mm-hmm.
and behold, there stood
Talking about.
I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand
Yes.
and his left hand, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time,
times,
and a half
time,
to be finished.
then all these things should be finished, just as he told Moses. When all the power
in Jeremiah chapter about the man being in travail.
A time is looked at as a
one day. As a one day. It's the day of Yah.
And that's so you got a time, times, and a dividing. Now if that be the formula. Now, what good is that? And
many shall be purified.
Just know this, that in this whole time, many shall be what?
Purified.
Made what?
And made white.
And what? That's been a test from the time that the Almighty said this has happened. That the righteous have had to go through and endure. They've had to be made white, meaning their righteousness, their appearance, and they've been tried. It ain't been easy. They had to still keep the Sabbath day. They had to do it at night, but for preservation of the memory of the Sabbath day, they stole away because all that was getting, and that was in trying away and maintain this truth. And one day, may not be here, that same thing will come again Israel's way. You'll be confronted, being tried. See, that's why I'm so fervent and well. You're gonna have to do that. If you don't build that up now, as it says in good time, you have no hope in bad time, but you will be tried. Some of what's going on with this, just the idea I have. And like I said, I know my enemy, he won't stop. This ain't just ideals. He throwing it out there to test the waters. It's the toe test. But you will
And what? And try. But the wicked
and the wicked
shall do wickedly.
It don't stop me. He's still gonna do wicked. He's gonna increase in doing wickedness, as a matter of fact. Expected end. That he have a last end. He won't understand what Psalm said when he said, and I searched for the wicked and I could not find him, because he was like the green bay tree that was cut down and I couldn't find him. Enjoy everything you're doing in your wickedness now, because in the time to come, you will not be found. But the wicked won't understand this, so he'll keep on doing wickedly. But the wise shall understand. Place. From the time that the what?
That the daily sacrifice
is what?
Taken away.
Because it's at that time when they took away the daily sacrifice. And what's the daily sacrifice? The oblation.
Yes,
and the morning and evening oblation was just as important as any other oblation, because it was dedicated to the Almighty. Praise Him in the morning, praise Him in the evening. And we started every day off with this, signifying that the only one to be praised in all the day long is Yahweh. And that's why the morning and evening sacrifice is synonymous with the time that we stop worshiping him as a people. So from the time, your start point is from the time that the daily
1,290 days.
But blessed
is he that went.
Well, everybody can't say that. He sure enough better get to working so he can hope to be there. And then make it within their and the accomplishment of the power of y'all people. And that's why I say when I look for the son of time, I look to his people. Look to no paper, no clocks, no nothing. I look to the condition of his people and what's going on around them, because that's the sign that the Almighty has given to the prophets. His block bottom, we ain't hit it yet.
Right, right.
Because they still on there talking about what JC doing for me. But I'm a skeptic. If so, let it be so. And like I said, if that's the case, then it won't make much. And I won't be able to teach it anyway. I can't paraphrase.
Someone had texted me earlier this week, and like we always chit chat while we're in class.
So did you say 120 days for what?
No, because I kind of know her journey, so I know where she's getting. I know her journey, and so I didn't say nothing more to her because and I didn't want to confuse for clarification for her.
Gotcha.
And a couple of they came in, they said, well, you know, I can, the Almighty has let me be like that. And they said, they was giving a testimony, they said, and I am happy. And they said, because if I die today, I know I got 6 months and I'll see the Almighty. Because they was figuring that even if they die, they're gonna only be in the ground for 6 months. As they gave a testimony. But I was sitting here for the rest, and I was letting it go, and then it hit me. I said,
yeah, for having our laws that Yahweh gave us. Yahweh is the best because I pray for him that he give us praise, and I just praise Yah. Praise Yah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I know where it all stems from, and there's other things that could be said, but those are things that don't need to be said in a such understanding that the day was fruitful for you and it wasn't pain.
Hallelujah.
The Almighty, I pray more so that the Almighty made this a blessing, and his word and him was magnified, and his truth was spoke prayer, my petition, and I ask that he will hear. I pray that he will make us better going out and protect us now and forevermore. Blessed be the name of Yahweh, our Elohim. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
If no other comments, let us stand. And close out. Down there. Down on the other side.
Surely Yahweh is one.
Yeah. Yes, Yahweh. Why is in the car? Shalom.
Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. He make his face shine upon thee and mercy to thee. And lift up his countenance and give us peace. Hallelujah.